the world of champions, the journey is never easy. It's about pushing limits, overcoming obstacles, and finding strength with every heartbeat. Sometimes your goals seem impossible. But together, we shatter limits. Whatever your sport, whatever your goal, we go beyond your limits together.
We have a dream. A dream where equality and equity in sport are possible. Where discrimination and lack of support are a past topic. Where there are no athletes asking for money on the street to be able to compete or study. And the only challenge they face is fighting for their dreams. They are not alone on this journey. This is how All Player was born in the world of sports marketing. An application converted into a community of support, a family where talent and hard work are the main value. It doesn't matter your background, race, or gender. What matters is your passion for your goals and the desire to succeed. In our world, every blow, every fall, it is an opportunity to get up stronger. Join us on this journey towards a future of sports and gaming where dreams become reality. Together we can change the game.
Almost at the end of our journey here in this season of the Voltage League. I can't water nervous time anymore. I feel like I just started this league like yesterday. But no, here we are deciding the third place already. Now, as we all know, this is just Team 86's and ITBA's world, and we're all living in it. But before we decide the winner of that, on Saturday, and none of you better miss that, we have to decide third place, of course, and that is what will be happening today. Because yes, it is Rux Horizon versus Lumina Gaming, two teams you have really watched grow and reach new heights during this league. And I have two fantastic casters for you guys tonight to guide you through this best of three. Bob and Pefkari. Guys, it's happening. Third place already. What are your expectations for this?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the expectations, they're I can't worry them too honestly because I've watched Rocks Horizon in the previous match I believe they had against, I can't remember on the top of my head, but that match, I was casting with another fellow caster reprints and it was a bit catastrophic to say the least. But today, it's a different day, it's a different match, it's a different team, everything's gonna be different. So I'm quite excited to see how, just like you said, everyone, the growth of this team. I hope it really has risen since I last casted them because if it hasn't, it's gonna leave a bit of a sour taste in my mouth, but I'm definitely still hyped. I mean, these teams, they definitely seem promising, and we're just reaching slowly towards the end. And if they want to win, they need to put up a good fight. Uh, yeah,
Yeah, could you hear me now?
yes.
Yeah, okay. But I can't hear Pavo at the moment, so I don't know what he said, so that's the problem. So,
Basically, yeah, we just. Can
now.
you hear me now? We're good.
Yes,
Okay.
perfect.
That's the beauty.
So-
That's the beauty of live shows. Nothing ever goes right. Here's the funny thing. I recently went to Taiwan, and they have this thing over there. These like chips, and if you put them next to your PC, apparently nothing ever goes wrong, and you have like no technical issues ever. I think we should just get some of these for everyone who works in this league, and then we'll be just free from any technical issues ever.
just
And they
send them
take this
some.
stuff really seriously there.
Just send them some over, I would say.
Yeah. Now, let's just go straight into the lineups today. These are the players who will be battling it out in our arena. The top 10, well, not top 10, part of the top 20, because again, this is the third place that will be battling it out. Now, again, there is a prize with third place, of course, so the stakes are still very, very high. Here are some of the more detailed stats about what we can expect from these players. Here we go, starting with Rux Horizon first. Guys, kind of guide me through what you're seeing here and what are the key players that all of our fans at home should be looking out for.
Yeah, from the stats, sadly, we don't have all the stats of all the players, but at the moment we see BMS with an average rating from 1.14 because of his KD 1.33 is a really good one. I would say with the Hibana and the Echo, a good combination. Well, we all know Hibana. Not only a heart breaching ability is very strong on specific matches, especially on some maps like Bank or Clubhouse when you got many hatches or like the option for a second heart breach. And when she's done with her ability, she could move and she could move freely with her gun and maybe some flashbangs as a secondary gadget and. Totally, the package totally would be completed with the bearing. So you've got a really strong operator. So I would say we could go with him here. And on the other side, I would say by Lumina Gaming, yeah, we've got a Nixon on the spot. KD for 1.67, and this is a good one, I would say, and maybe or hopefully all the guys of Lumina Gaming don't have only to rely on him. So maybe some of the others will also come into the game very good. So now I would say we will have a look at the map, and there we see. Yeah, especially one map, Clubhouse at the decider for the end, but which I would say is very interesting. But first, our first pick of Rocks Horizon, Oregon. What do you say, guys?
I'd say,
Okay.
I mean, it is going to be definitely very, very exciting, and I've been told that the players are all ready and waiting to get into the game. So, you saw what we're dealing with today, you saw what 3 maps, potentially up to 3 maps we'll be going to, but we have to start somewhere, and that is going to be Oregon. Before we get whisked away, quick predictions, go, go, go.
I'm saying Rocks Horizon.
Yeah, totally agree. But it will be a very, very good match. I will hopefully see 2-1. So only the deciding map, Clubhouse, will be the really one, the really decider, and this will go for Rocks Horizon, I would say.
Yep, it is going to be close, but guys, take it away, and let's hope we're going to have a wonderful first map here.
Wonderful indeed. Oregon. You know, described as being one of the more common maps, at least from the time I used to cast a bit more commonly. Borrigan is the second name they gave it. Second one's going to be Nighthaven, although sadly, a bit of a spoiler, but I won't be there to cast it. We're going to be having a bit of a replacing caster. But Bifkari, hello, we haven't casted before, you and I, so how was your day? How has it been going?
For a good, three good maps, a really good match from both teams, and I would say Rocks Horizon is possibly one of the both teams who could bring some action to the table, as well as Lumina Gaming. So I hope so. They will bring us some action here. And Oregon, yeah, Borrigan, he said it earlier, a map which both teams should know what to play, and should bring something here for a good match. So let's have a look. I would say through our operator bands, Ying and Monty, the first two, nothing special at the moment for the first steps.
Yeah, nothing special. My mistake. Although I am surprised they didn't go for a Dokkaebi. We saw Lumina Gaming having one of the more picked operators being Dokkaebi, but yet again, Monty and Ying is completely fine, especially because, I mean, Monty with the not so late rework has been quite dominant, and Ying just overall a great character to bring on for late game. Now, going forward, the defensive side is going to be Cade and Fenrir. Now, Fenrir, you know, he got nerfed in the latest patch or so, but he's still standing strong. He's still, you know, using that fear toxin all around the comp scene, and he is going to be getting still banned throughout many and many matches. Cade, again, a very reasonable one. Breaching is a very essential part on Oregon. Not, you know, it's not the entire shtick of it, but going into a hand, getting main on Master Bedroom Closet Breach, the amount of rotation it cuts off, and just the amount of pressure it puts on these defenders, especially when it comes to hatches on basement, and even just anything you name, any side basically has this sort of breach where if it's opened, you're basically screwed as a defender, and you're now going to have to play either extremely aggressive or extremely defensive to the point where you can't rotate normally through sight. So going first, we're going to be going downstairs in basement, where, you know, the common hold would be elbow, and we already see the mirror being played right now and the smoke. We don't seem to have a shield, though, so I'm a bit skeptical how it's going to be getting played through, especially with utilities such as smokes and flashes still available. We do have a Wumai to counter that, and an Azami to be on, I would assume, I'm just an assumption, to be on pillar just to kind of help him out from any background pushes coming from backstairs. But without further ado, what's your opinion on these lineups? What do you think these operators are very good on for attack?
I would say for attacking, interesting side, yeah, okay, the hard breach gadget on the back and on the grim, so you don't need the normal hard breacher like a Hibana or maybe like an Ace of Thermite on this position. So I would say it's okay. You've got a very good gunpowder. You've got the Dokkaebi on the side, so the phones will be ringing. You see here like coded with a very aggressive entrance. We want to make the game a really fast one, especially for the first round, I would say. What I would say interesting, maybe also for the defense, could be the Azami. Maybe if she could stay alive as long as possible, she could replace the shields, especially for elbow, or especially maybe also for here the freezer side. This could be an interesting one, but here the first breach is done, the first hatch is open, and so we begin for our first round, I would say.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, these attackers are taking ground very fastly. I mean, the defenders aren't putting much of a roam or any type of fight to actually contest this area. So, you know, they're going to be getting meeting. They're going to be getting top freezer very quickly. These hatches are going to get open. So the defenders are going a bit more turtle-ish. That's completely fine. But it depends on how well they're going to be able to fight back with their guns and their gadget and use this type of side they've made around this turtle-ish strategy to their advantage. Just like Tuberon, we see, you know, he's defending, he's delaying this E-box hatch open, because once that's open, so much more contest and so much more rotation is cut off that it's not even to debate. And the first kill comes out, and that's going to be a flourish drone from BMS onto Rexy's. A very interesting and also amazing opening kill. I haven't seen that one in ages, and I'm probably not going to see one for any longer. These flourish drones, you know, you don't expect the drone to kill a person, but here we are. Flourish on top. First kill goes to him. That's going to be Rexy's off the board. 1 minute on the count, starting to slowly descend. Freezer stairs. Mira is going to be contesting it. You know, JJ still has a C4. He's still a very deadly operator. He's chucking it right now. It goes, but it won't be dealing much damage.
Oh, especially not, but here is JJF5 with the Vector, knocks out Joko Sama on the first one, trying to get maybe the next one. Here the pistol is in the gauge here. The problem with getting out of bullets, both sides are getting out of bullets, but both sides are really good in their gunfights. Fire! Get JJ5, Nixon shoots, coded down, so we're only in a 2v2 situation because Joko he survived that engagement. Good for him and good for Rocks Horizon. They got the first entry, but now they have to deal in the last 10 seconds with the last engagement. He has fire with the next one, so only Nixon, last man standing, going for the rotation. But they got, and maybe the enter, they got the Wizard first one, the second one, Nixon! He's dealing with both of them, getting both out. First, the first one, and then we saw the Grim trying to come out of this place, trying to get out of this position, but yeah, not this time. And I would say maybe the timing also would be a problem after this. Only like 1 or 2 milliseconds on the board, so the plant wouldn't go down a second time. So good defense in the last seconds here for Lumina.
Most definitely. I mean, Lumina right now, they were exchanging quite a bit of guns and heads. I mean, we had a nice double kill coming in from Rox's fire with the pistol kill onto the Mira. Then he goes for the Tubarao, cuts him off while trying to rotate back into side and contest any type of plant going down. And as that happens, that's going to be a double kill going into a 1v3 situation right after picking up the Grim and Freezer. And they go for a plan, which was, I mean, the smartest way of going about it. I was assuming Ash was gonna kind of predict Nixon coming from the main hallway, the bottom hallway, the freezer hallway, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, he definitely made a bit of a wider rotation, surprising fire, and managing to get a nice finishing kill. He gets one backs off, but notices he still has that 5.6 in his mag, and he can definitely finish the job when the plant is going down. Doesn't want to necessarily get into that post plant if possible, just in case there's maybe a claymore or the player manages to escape just in time. So a very nice finish. Now we see Rex is very interesting zombie throw right there. Can't necessarily complimented too much, since assuming it went in the wrong direction, or at least not as intended. But going on to round number 2, Fox Horizon, I mean, they seem to be going a very quick pace of taking the map. I mean, they're droning quick. They have these operators as well. I mean, they don't have, like you said earlier, Pifkari, they don't really focus on Ace or Hibana or any type of hard breach. They bring some secondary hard breach devices, but mostly it's just to clear out the roamers. It's just to get things fast. And just like that, Coda is going to be getting very fast on his feet, taking out JJ in the first remaining seconds. A trade comes out from a mission onto Fire. That's going to be the Ash. Actually, not the Ash. A switch from the Ash to the Deimos up the board, and a very essential operator for late game and in general rope clearance, especially when it comes to man advantage. I mean, Deimos is just absolutely fantastic for these 1v1 situations and for overall information.
Yeah, I totally agree with this. They're getting the first kill, getting the entry again, but then I would say, the intel, they wasn't this good for taking, for getting the refrag. I would say maybe taking a step back, maybe getting a bit slower, I would say, would be better for them, be better for their execution, or maybe a bit more droning. But yeah, this could be, we're at the moment of first in the second round, so that's maybe not the problem. So we're in here again with the next one. BMS getting Pango again. The Tubarao. He rotated again into his side of sight, but ammunition, I thought, no, not this time. Called it out. 1 minute to go. 3v3 situation at the moment. Better for defense again. Nixon with his 4th kill in the second round. Really good start at the moment. So, I don't know. Rocks Horizon maybe a bit too fast for getting all the intel or the executions. Ammunition with the next one. Venom out. 1v3 situation. Chokosama, last man standing. Not the best start, I would say, for round number 2.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, Rocks Horizon, they're barely managing to get these kills. They get a very good opening kill, but just like Emission started the refrag, he's going to be finishing the round onto Chaco, just unexpectedly swinging it, and oh, what a clean! Not even that, a tight angle to add along with the nice little style points to give to him. But yeah, Lumina, I mean, they're not getting these opening picks, of course, but that doesn't matter to them. They get the refrag. They make sure that that one character that was taken out, either it was a Lamai or whatever character, got taken out on their team, they're making sure to hit back tenfold. They're making sure to get a double kill out of it or make some sort of utility or some sort of, I guess, to not let it go to waste. So with that, they got their second round, and second round in a row that's going to them. And we're going to be going over to Kitchen and Meeting. Now, again, I do like Rock's Horizon for how, they kind of ignore the Ace Hibana aspect. You mentioned this with Gary first, and it's really interesting. They don't focus on that. They rather focus on gathering either more intel, giving more destruction, or maybe spreading out a more important character. Right now, we have two soft breaches, or more like two soft breaching operators such as Buck and Ash. But for the first time, we're going to be seeing an Ace. Maybe this is just a bit of a switch of pace, but we're going to have to see. I mean, this is also depending because they are going to have to push either upstairs, they're going to have to push tower, whatever it will end up being. They're going to have to do it in a well-mannered way where they don't lose these gunfights, or they win gunfights but end up losing a man in the process as well. If the enemy gets a refrag, they get it back. They kind of need to they need to continue this process of elimination like they started it, to say the least.
Yeah, I would say getting the entry is only one part. Getting the transition for getting maybe a second or third kill is the way to go for them, or should be the way to go for them. And I would say on the opening frag, they have to contain maybe not their speed, but maybe more about the angel game. Maybe focusing a bit more on playing not too aggressive, like the safer part. I mean, they got the intel on the first one and normally very quickly. Okay, this time we got a team kill from Venom on fire. Okay, maybe again the problem with the skin or something like this. But that's not very good, especially we are on the third round. It's the first off spot. You probably should win this round for yourself, for your attacking side, because now if you lose it, you're 0-3, or you're standing maybe with your back against the wall, and Pango with the C4 getting out Shoko-sama, so we're only 3 man alive on the side of Rock's Horizon. I would say, yeah, okay, getting the first one is important. You're getting out Pango to Barao. Okay. Yeah, not a good pick, yes, but not the important one, I would say, for getting more control on the map, or maybe more control for the defensive side. But here's the next one! BMS getting out Reaxis, and now we are tied with our operators.
Yes, we are, but that Ace sure is hoping to get that Doc Stim just like Coded got taken out right now, and it's a 2v3 situation, almost a 3v1. Because, I mean, Ace right now, Venoms is looking at 3 HP, and he's craving for those Doc Stims. Let me tell you, he's drooling all over himself, because right now, Doc, still hanging above, he's still contesting ground. Ace just trying to kind of hold him off, maybe get that type of surprise attack on him, a bit of a jump, you could say. But at the end, I mean, these defenders, they have what they need. They have the upstairs control. They still have sight under whatever they do. We get a bit of Ace revealing himself, shoots his shots at the Doc and reveals himself just enough for the Doc to kind of know where he is. This is 25 seconds. I mean, they need to start pushing. They need to get these frags, and it matters not. Emission gets himself a second kill in the round. That's a 1v3 situation. Going up BMS, again, another exposition. He goes for the quick peeks, another 21 HP. I mean, we're lowering this HP, and it doesn't matter, as Emission's going to be finishing the job, getting himself a third. That's going to be a triple for him. Very nice shots, contesting, standing on business on the upper floor, just absolutely dominating. And, even when in these gunfights, he takes one, he takes the second, he takes the third, he's going to be still keeping his upper floor nice and clean, swiping the enemies along with the dust of the floor, just keeping it very, tidy. But that's going to be the third round going to Lumina. And before the role swap happens, they can't be in a minus. They can't be 4-2. They can't be down. So all they can do is just keep on making it better for themselves in the late game.
Yep. That's the point. And Rock's Horizon, I would say, they have a really big problem if they can't get the intel on the board. And like we saw it in the round at the moment, we got the Doc in the kid's bedroom alone, standing on his side. We got the second one holding the cross angle through the the big window from lower white stairs. Okay, they got the frag on him, but then they didn't know that the dog was there, and they didn't go for the execution like already when they're 2v3 in a disadvantage, a 2v3 disadvantage. So, the problem is, I would say, you're starting is one point, but when you got the intel, and it's unnecessary if you need 2 minutes to gain the intel. The problem is if you don't react on it, if you don't go for the 2v1 execution, if you don't go for the flank or the second the second flank, I would say, like going for the 2v1, then you don't have to oh no, yeah, okay, now I know where the problem with the intel goes.
Yeah, most definitely. But this time, you know, they kind of managed to make it look like they don't know. But, you know, it was a bit of a diversion. But still, interestingly, the Mirror managed to get away. JJ, you know, still keeping his life in his hands, getting those side angles back in. Lumina not letting go and not going down so easily. But I feel like, you know, previous round, I agree with Curry. Everything you said is true. But also, you know, once they get the intel, they didn't react on it. Just because it was two upstairs in the 2v1, they put themselves in 1v1 positions, which allowed the Doc to win. But right now, Coda got himself a trade with JJ. You know, it was a bit of a trade, but still, we saw the second character coming in. We saw Fire being there for a backup in case anything went wrong. He would have been there instantly to refrag him as the previous round. Fox Horizon, you know, said it was 2v1 upstairs. The Doc was alone, but the Ace pushed alone. He went for a gunfight on his own, and Bravo just kind of, you know, led along the same path, just kind of followed in his tracks and managed to die the exact same way, or at least by the exact same cost. Now, as we're going into this round, a very interesting trade. I mean, this game has been phenomenal. We have a floor zone kill in the first round, a team kill in the second, and now we have a trade. Like, give me a bingo. You gotta start checking things.
Yeah, this could be probably this could go like if you're going for another game in this game, so could be an interesting one. Maybe also for this final execution here again. 40 seconds to go. 4v4 situation. Everybody got a full HP, so this could be very interesting. But okay, next point. Hatches. The hatch has to get open. They need to get an entry into freezer or something elsewhere, I would say, and that's the point. 20 seconds to go. Pushing in there, going in there, going with the beast, going with the intel. And what's the defense? What did they do, or what they're going to do? They're going to fall back here. Pango gets Shokusama. BMS with Nixon, very important. Pango with the second one, but that's not. No way again! And Rexus is finishing off everyone.
Oh my god.
And again, the problem, yeah, this time, a really good, a really big problem, I would say, with the time. Yeah, they went for the first execution on the Roma, got that trade, okay, not very well for the attacking side, but okay, yeah. And then the problem, if you need more than 2 minutes to go for the preparation for the push, going for a breach, going to deny the utility on defensive side. Is it like the Asami barricades or the mirror windows or something like the defensive utility? If you need more than 2.5 minutes to deal with this, then you don't have to wonder if the last push in the last 30 seconds isn't effective to get the round. And now we are standing 0-4. Maybe Rocks Horizon, yeah, okay, they switched a bit of their playstyle. They went a bit slower, I would say, but maybe they start thinking if Lumina isn't maybe at this moment a bit too strong for them.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I feel like Lumina is kind of setting up these traps or mind games for Rocks Horizon, and they keep falling for it. First round, everyone just wants to test to see how the enemies play and such. So Rocks Horizon, they did a fast clear. But remember, at the end, even though they got map control in like, what, a minute, they had no roamers on Lumina's side. Absolutely nothing. But Rocks Horizon, their execute still came in the last 10 seconds or such, which is absolutely horrendous. Just like the first opening kill coming from Coda, that's not too horrendous, but with how, you know, they've been getting opening kills and having very good early game, how they've been finishing is definitely horrendous. I mean, Lumina, then second round, they had one roamer, and then just kind of been switching between having roamer and not. And Rock's Rising, I mean, they just keep falling for it, and always a very similar outcome. And just like that, Nixon's going to be taken off the board. Very good man advantage. This is a good start, Rock's Horizon. Every single round has gone like this. I mean, they get extremely good ground coverage. They get the first pick. They get an early frag onto an operator. But why is it always that it comes down to the last 10 seconds? I don't get it. What is stopping them from executing? They throw all their flashes, all their smokes, but they don't work with these gadgets. They just throw them out, and then they push in with guns. That's all that ends up happening.
Yeah, that's a problem. Don't rely on utility. Don't rely on information, I would say, and that's the point. If you don't use what you got, maybe you're going into you're pushing yourself into a disadvantage. Or maybe this could be a point. But now we got two operators more on the board, so maybe this time they're getting the first round. You know, they're dealing with the Daemons, or trying to get maybe a pick from below. Maybe to bring the defense out of their strong positions. This could be maybe a point to go into this round, into getting the first point. But Pango is alive, and he is on a good way again, taking his 5th kill on the roam. Or also, this could be a very interesting point. But again.
Yes.
We see the attacking, okay, from the white stairs, so the pushing upstairs. We got the second flank is there, but I would say at the moment it's not the attacking point they need. Reacts with the next one, 2v3 situation, and so I would say they will lose the next round.
I'm jaw dropped. It went from a 5v3 to a 5v, from a 5v3 to a 2v2 right now. BMS gets a kill with the 417. Fire follows up, making it a 2v1, but now it's down Pango. He got one this round. He exposes himself, and BMS finishing the job. And oh my god, right now I was jaw dropped for a second. My heart was racing. Thankfully enough, Rock's Horizon managed to capture the first round on the tag, and hopefully it's not going to be a 5-1 outcome. Maybe they get themselves a 2-4 with how they went this round, but this is what we're saying, you know. The early round, they managed to get a good clear. They managed to, you know, waste a lot of utility for defense, waste a bit of utility themselves, but that's what you need, you know, to get this clear. They had a 5v3 situation, which turned into a 3v2 for Lumina. Lumina managed to, you know, flip the tables on them, which is absolutely absurd. And with just a bit more, you know, cooperation and chemistry from Lumina, they would have gotten that round too, which would have been leading up to a flawless, if you ask me. But thankfully, Rock's Horizon, they managed to break the board. They managed to get themselves through very smoothly with that round of 4-1. Very good starts. They're having very good starts, but they need to continue. They need to continue the surge. They need to keep it going. You can't just stop once you have something achieved. You need to make bigger heights. You need to kind of, you know, keep it going. So 4-1. The least they're going to be coming out with before the role swap or after this round is going to be a 4-2 split, which isn't that horrible seeing as you're in attack. If it's 5-1, it's very horrible, but at least it's not possible to be a 6-0. So, you know, we're going off good. Lumina, maybe they haven't had much chances to adapt, seeing as they've been in the majority of the winning rounds. So maybe we're going to be seeing some adaptation right now. Maybe not. Ango already playing very aggressive, trying to go for an early kill. Spawns BMS breaking the window. He starts peeking it, going very aggressive, but gets punished for it. BMS carrying previous round, and he's going to continue doing that this one.
Again, the opening frag for Rock's Horizon. And the interesting part, if we got like the team kill and the trade on their side, we got like 6 rounds out of 6 with the opening frag for Rock's Horizon, and they couldn't deal, or they could only deal for 1 round at the moment. And Reacts is again on the board, taking out BMS, taking out the Brava. Yeah, okay. But here again, the problem. Where's the refrag? Where's the potential for the refrag, I would say? When do we see maybe more control, more crowd control. You would say maybe for defensive side you would pick a clash for this, or maybe yeah, okay, Monty is banned. They banned it by themselves. One of them gets reactions out, the really important one. So now we got the drop from Emission, I would say, from the dock, getting out of the danger zone. But again, the problem. Maybe trying to fix it with another operator. Maybe trying to fix it with a blitz would be a potential pick here on this side. But hey, again, they're one man up. Maybe they could secure their second round, and then I would say it's okay. A 2v4 split would be okay for them.
Yeah, it definitely would be. It would be preferable over 1 to 5. So take this man advantage that you have. You have the calls. You have some information now from Dokkaebi. So take everything you can. You have this distraction. You have it all set up. Now they need to do it correctly. They need to do it as a team. Do it as one, some may say. And, while, Grim isn't looking best on his HP, 20 isn't going to last him for long, he still has a gadget. He still has drones. He can still watch. He can still flank, do anything as a character. And just like that, we mentioned it, but it's going to be Nixon with the SMG-11. Can we even give him a clap, a hands up? Because he's been destroying with the SMG-11 throughout the entire match, taking out the sledge, which isn't even the Grim. The Grim is the one with the low HP, so that's going to be leaving them very bad. Nixon with another one going in. That's going to be a shotgun kill, a triple. Do we get that quad? The drop from Coden manages to down Nixon, but Emission is going to be there to pad the back of his teammate just before he's going to be getting taken out, and that's going to be another round going to Lumina Gaming, making it a 5-1 split before them going on attack and Rox going on defense. Now, that round, we had the man advantage. The sledge loses the gunfight on a medium-sized, or a medium-ranged gunfight, watching the flank for the smoke. The smoke expected him. That's even more interesting. The smoke went for an insane shot, SMG-11 or not. He's going to be taking that with him to the grave, and then goes back to side, gets another shotgun out, pump him back to the 80s, and just overall absolutely insane. I mean, Nixon has been definitely one of the leading players. Right now, we can already see him picking Yash. I mean, already tells what type of player he is. Frag and destroy. So, with that, Lumina's looking 5-1. But Rox Rising is now on defense. Kari, do you think they still have a chance?
Yeah, the potential of the chance is totally there, I would say. They are a strong team together. They could make it, and yeah, they already showed it. Like they took the advantage in every round, but they couldn't hold it. I would say on their side. So the problem is if you can't bring the transition on the board, if you can't bring the transition in the game, then you lose the round. Lose the rounds, that's the problem. And on the defensive side, okay, you don't have to make these transitions. You don't have to bring these aggressive plays, maybe, or taking bringing the utility game on another level, I would say, or the intel game. So you could rely on your defensive, on a bit more chilling game, and with the gunfights on their side, it's possible. It's possible for them to make the comeback, yeah, but I would say the point for them should be, I would say, a more getting into the game, getting sort of feeling some confidence in their hands, like winning some gunfights, clicking some heads, and coming into the rounds, and maybe getting 2 or 3 rounds for them. Losing the first map and then starting again on the second map. But here, Code and Venom say, no, we want to take this one back. 2 openings again. But we saw it earlier, 2 openings is nothing. Lumina is still on the board with 3 guys. And also, Pango, Nixon, and Emission together, 24 kills.
Attackers have located a bomb.
That's more of the whole team on the other side. So
The attacker's bomb
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, they are very dominant in mission, just combining Pangos and Nixons. But even then, I mean, he has been the top. The golden hand shots are shots are shot, saying it like that. Pango tries to distract his enemy. Fire won't be falling for that trick as he managed to get the SMG-11 pick on him. Now it's going to be a 4v2 situation. Rocks Horizon looking comfortable inside, but Nixon decides to pack one. Decides, okay, you know, I'm going to be peeking everything. I have the R4C, I have the power, but Fire denies it and goes and finishes it off as we're going to be finishing round 7 with a 5-2 score. And you know, right now Rocks Horizon, they're starting to pace their things up. You know, they're on defense and they're feeling a lot more powerful than they ever have. Just starting to pace things back together, nicely glue them in, and just like that, the second round going to Rocks Horizon and a very nice one of that, just absolutely dominant. But right now, not much is happening. You know, we could talk about the previous round, but there's one more thing important that sadly I did forget to talk about or mention in the start of the everything. If anyone watching on Twitch, you have points, you know, you can't necessarily use them on being VIP because that costs like 100,000. There is a giveaway happening right now. Just go on the stream, check the boxes for points. There should be one for giveaway, and if you have enough, participate because you can win yourselves some very nice Rainbow Six Siege credits. So, with that, let's get actually back to the match. Can we still be heard? Okay. All right, we just had a bit of a technical issue, you know, a bit of then and there. It happens. It's Ubisoft. It's production. It's whatever. No mistakes happen, and we're back. That's all that matters. We're still here. We're still kicking. We're still going. So with that, Gary, did you enter the giveaway yet?
Yeah, I entered it. I entered it 30 minutes ago, I'd say, at the start of the match, and I hope to get maybe. I hope that I could. I'm allowed to to be part of this. So maybe it's also the time when you're a part of the production, so you're not allowed to be a part of the giveaway. So yeah, maybe I hope I will be one of the 2 people that you get. Yeah, to get one of the to win one of the two giveaways, and yeah, we got at the moment some technical issues, but the teams, I would say, they don't have these issues, so we're taking in again in this round, and this could be an interesting one. I would also say I got a little bit of statistic information for you guys out there, like the last. Yeah, we're going to a restart of the feed, I would say. So, okay. Okay, we got the information from our production side. We are again on the new feed, so we've got the restarted feed already running here for you. So, all the technical problems should be gone at the moment, and yeah, gone at the moment is also a bit of time, I would say. Only 1 minute and 15 seconds left in this eighth round here, and no one has lost any part of their life. So I would say at the first point, BMS. Starting with Nixon. First one is out.
First one is out, just like that. The nades are also starting to get dropped beneath the player's feet. We also have an Amaru, but that doesn't matter. Koda is going to be taking out Pango. JJ with a kill of his own SMG-12. Put a +1 on that 11, and you have it right there. A very nice go coming in from Venoms as well, taking out Rexes, but this Amaru is still alive. We still have Dodoka kicking. It's a 4v2 situation. 40 seconds on the clock. That's going to be a double kill for Venoms. The second one being the Dodoka, and BMS taking out JJ as we finish round number 8, I do believe it is, and it's going to be the third round going over to the side of Rocks Rising, managing to get in closer to that even score. So Lumina right now, they're kind of, they're falling back quite a bit with how dominant they've been on defense. Seems like it is starting to turn around a bit. Now, why this is so important, I normally wouldn't pay so much attention to it, but Lumina, 5 points for 5 rounds, 1 more and they're on match point. If they can do it right now in the following second round, they're going to be putting Rocks Horizon on a lot of pressure because Lumina, they need to win 1 round to put themselves on match point and then another one to win this match. So with that, I mean, Rocks Horizon is going to be needing to be under this constant pressure of, if we don't win this, it's over for this map. Oregon is theirs. They get to, kind of take the first one out of the BO3, and that's quite a lot for a player to handle. I mean, especially for a team, they're gonna have to get through it. Otherwise, it just won't work. But for the side of Rocks Horizon, we are going to be having a leave of the player, and with that, I do believe, if I heard it correctly, we're going to be getting a rehost. Yes, there it is. Hello, you get to see us again. What a bit of a break from all this shooting. It's so violent. You can just look at us for a second, but yeah, Pafkari, you've seen how Rocks Horizon on defense, they're way better, and you said they definitely have the potential to come out on top. And are you still holding on to that word?
Yeah, the point I would say is the statistics never lie. So we got the statistics of the last head-to-head matchup from both, and the voltage lead on the 8th of June, so nearly a month ago. And okay, it was the matchup on the Clubhouse, our third match, or maybe our third map on the of the evening. So yeah, and there we saw a 7-8. So we saw 15 rounds played, and out of those 15 rounds, we saw 11 wins on the defensive side. And so again, I would say this time on Oregon, we will see some of the same points again. We saw 5 rounds in the defense of one from Lumina Gaming, so maybe we saw the same thing on the side of Roxanne Horizon. I would say the matches are going to be won on the attacking side, because the team who will win more rounds in the attack would probably win the maps. And this could be an interesting point, because both teams are potentially very strong on the defensive side. So yeah, we see like at the moment 5-1. Now we are on a 3-5. We see maybe a part of a comeback from Rocks Horizon, but again, the two spots, the two better spots we saw, like for the master and the basement side. So now we're going for the first off spot, and this could be maybe also the first interesting round for the defense. And yeah, getting the off spots on their side. No, I would say it like in another way. Getting one off spot is essential for Rocks Horizon, because if they don't get it, if they only win their two tops or spots or top defensive sides, they only got 4 rounds, and this is not enough to go for overtime.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, the players right now are gathering back up. They're relocating to the lobbies, to our little custom match, because of course a rehost happens when a player leaves. That's what the team has. But yeah, I definitely agree with your point. I think I was the previous Rocks Horizon match I casted. The first match they did out of the BO3 was, they destroyed, and I mean absolutely annihilated on defense. They went 5-1 against their enemy. But once they were on attack, ooh, it plummeted down. It plummeted down badly. Dropped dead like a fly. I mean, it's just hard to mention, hard to watch, and hard to remember. But it was definitely worth a point worth mentioning in this situation, because kind of a similar thing is happening. This is definitely something that is going on yet again. And with that, I mean, I don't know how Lumina is gonna react, but yeah, we're gonna right now leave it to Averana to explain a bit more what's happening. So we'll see you in a bit.
Okay, and I'm back a bit sooner than we all expected, but things happen, especially in a live show. I mean, it's been a really great game so far. I love really surprising surprises. I know that makes no sense, but like I've been generally, it's been weird given what we know about these teams, some of the things we've been seeing so far in this game. The stakes are high, the stress is probably getting to them in some situations. Again, third place, there's some very nice prizes attached to that, and of course just the the respect of everyone in the Siege community for coming third or having that bronze. So it is definitely, I think it can be getting to them. They've played twice before. In the previous one, it was actually an 8-7 So they went all the way to the end in the last head-to-head, and that Lumina Gaming won. But in the head-to-head before that, Rux Horizon won with a much bigger advantage. So clearly, especially given how they are both in this kind of like top of the tournament, they're both very close in skill-wise. But anyway, we are ready to head back. So guys, take it away once again.
Okay. We're back in the game. 3-5 score. That's where we left off. And with that, I mean, Rux Horizon, they're starting to bring it back up. But this, although it was a rehost, every player, every team could also see this as an opportunity. Definitely Lumina right now had the chance, had the time to not actually avoid using their little tactical timeout, should I say. They could have used this time while we were going back into the match to kind of converse, talk what's happening, what's wrong, what should we do, how do we do it with their coach, IGL, whoever they may have talked to. And Rux Horizon, I mean, they probably just said, yep, past rounds are good, keep it going, guys.
And that's the point. You keep it going for the defensive side. They need to win this first off spot for their defensive side. Here, Meeting Hall and Kitchen. Oh, for them, I would say, or for both teams at the moment here on Oregon, the better off side. What's your opinion on Meeting side, especially against when you see the kitchen dining perspective? What's your favorite side of these two?
Ooh, honestly, I'm just going to have to go with Meeting and Kitchen. Dining is a bit too simple since Breach is way too accessible from Small Tower. And Meeting, you can still play around the hatches system. You can still have a lot of rotation. And it kind of depends on a bit more of a large scale going towards Big Tower Breach, pushing into attics to clear that out, taking out a bit more of the upper floor, and, having a lot more congestion just all around than just, Small Tower, take a bit of the upper floor, you have everything.
Ooh, yeah, nearly a close one, I would say, but probably they didn't know that the action will go here for the tower side. First breach is done, first entrance from Lumina also done. Yeah, in a very fast point, I would say. Fire is opening again with Pango, so Rux Horizon starts there where they ended before the rehost, again with the opening frag, and that's a very important one. But Nixon is hot, getting out Shoko Zama. And maybe Shoko-sama isn't that the game at the moment, I would say. I'm using getting out BMS. Next frag from the attacking side. Really important. Lumino. Again, Nixon. Double kill from his side. This could be maybe a seventh one. Blend is also done. Venom gets the very important pick on reactions, but now it's a 2v1. 1v situation. Nixon with the triple kill. Only Venom with the ult on the point. Venom as well. So we got a goal. Gonna go with a triple kill versus triple kill here for the final 20 seconds.
20 seconds, he's going for a fake plant. Ash, Nixon isn't going to be falling for it completely. Wanted to grab that cheese out of the cheese trap with the mouse catcher, but it won't work, and there it goes. Venoms with a quad kill, managing to get the diffuser just in time in the last second to clutch it up and get the round for Rux Horizon.
Disabled by defenders.
Whew. Let's get a bit of a breather because, I mean, Venom's calm down. Actually, don't, because it's good for your team if you kind of keep it going like this. He managed to pick off one. And then we weren't spectating him too well in that situation. And gets the planter who peeks him, does win the gunfight. Goes for the second one, which is just on tower stairs, very nicely finishing it off. I mean, peeks out of the OSA shield. Like, why do that when you don't need to? Gets very aggressive in the mission, gets punished for his incorrect play, and just with the correct timing. It's like he had the clock in his brain. It's like he was ticking down what the diffuser. He was going 1, 2, 3, and just when the second timer hit, he manages to take out Nixon, finishing the job and getting them the 4th round. And Lumina, that was a complete throw. I mean, no need for a mission to peek there on backstairs. He could have played it safe. The Maestro didn't have any, and I mean any impacts left. He wasted both of them on trying to clear the OSA shield, failed. And with that, I mean, he just had to stay there, and it would have been a double challenge, a 2v1 situation, which he couldn't have gotten away with unless, of course, you peek from the OSA shield. He gets the very clean headshot, and kind of gets a very nice bait onto Nixon. So that's going to be a well-deserved round for Venoms and Rocks Horizon as a whole. But Lumina, you know, they're kind of starting to throw away a bit of what they've gathered up until now. A very nice bumpy coming from. But, you know, still didn't actually catch anyone. It wasn't risky, though, so that's what's important. But, yeah, no, Lumina, you know, it's definitely visible that defense is a very favorable side to be here. But still, you can't just peek out like that. You can't just give them 1v1 situations, and you definitely can't waste players like that.
Yeah, I would totally agree. It was an unnecessary round loss for Lumina Gaming, I would say here. And the problem is, maybe they were too confident. They went for a very good execution, going for like the points they needed, going for a breach on the attic side, going for a breach on the stage side. So taking these two breaches, the first step, going for the execution, the second one you got normally you got from the hatch the perfect angle on the rotation. You got there your 3v2 kill that you're in a very good position to go for the after plan situation, and the problem was they were too greedy, I would say, and that's the point. Too unnecessary, and yeah, we see Rocks Horizon is there, and when was there when he was needed, and that's the point. Rocks Horizon could play on these mistakes, could play, could use these mistakes from Lumina Gaming, and that's the point. Lumina Gaming, it should be in the fourth point going for these executions again. I would say they played a very good good start of the round, and then it's not only the first 90 seconds, they're also a second part of the 90 seconds. So let's have a look. Round 10, 45 seconds. Venom again with the opening emission. Getting fire out, reacts again with Venom. 3v4 situation. Lumina again with the lead. Only 40 seconds left.
Venom definitely leaving a mark on Lumina's side, but so is Choco, making it a 3v3. That mirror window definitely being put to good use. BMS finishing up, following it into a transition with Coded, putting it all into a double kill for himself, finishing off Nixon, and now we know where Mission is left. Now it's 20 seconds on the clock. He's in the middle of a crossfire from 3 different sides, maybe even a flank from the Warden for all we know. Nope, it's a complete crossfire. He cannot win this, and Coded is going to be finishing the job, taking him out just in the final few seconds. And Venoms is destroying. I mean, I saw him peeking into bunker for a second, and Thatcher crawling up nicely behind him, you know, from backstairs, just to take him out. He was behind him. Venoms got shot, I believe, once maybe. He did a 180 and took his head off. At least that's what it looked like for me. And if that's true, if that's what actually happened, Venoms is smoking Lumina as a whole right now. He is absolutely destroying them. Rocks Horizon, just in general, I mean, their teamwork this round was very fantastic. I mean, how it worked, how these trades came in, not even trades, just kills, one after another. They followed each other through. They combined hands with the power of friendship and managed to give themselves the 5th round, evening it up yet again. Now, keep in mind, these 2 following rounds are very important, and even this next one, because if Rocks Horizon wins it, they're on match point. They can win this. Same goes for Lumina, so it's a lot on the board. There's a lot of things at stake right now, and Rocks Horizon, if they win it, they've been looking pretty good if they keep it going, because Lumina, I mean, they had a round until they decided to peek the Maestro and lose it, but without further ado, I mean, they've been close, but it hasn't actually ever worked out. So Rocks Horizon, if they just keep doing what they've been doing, you know, just chilling out, getting their nice frags, just defending like they've been doing up until now, they're definitely getting out with a 7-5, I say. Oh my god.
Again, the opening again, Coded, and again against JJF5. I would say the 4th time he lost his life in the first point. And yeah, the opening for Rocks Horizon, maybe the point they needed, or maybe the pick they needed again. But Lumina, we saw it earlier, they can come back on this very strong. So hopefully again, I want to see here more than 12 rounds.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, we do want to see it keep it coming because the heat just coming from them is already burning me up. And no, it's not temperatures. I have a fan in the background. What's also bringing the heat is going to be Pango taking out a double on the side of Rocks Horizon, taking out only Choco, but also Fire. That's going to be not only the Melusi, but the Warden. But thankfully, that's not the gadget of the team. We still have the smoke with all three of his canister, and Legion just stacking up 5 soup cans. What is he going to throw, Matt? We have God knows what. I mean, he could kill an entire dragon with all of those take damage, damaging Legion Goose. But Coda is going to be getting himself a double, a second one. That's going to be Pango, the one who did manage to get a double for himself as well. A mission finishing that up onto Coda with a pistol in hand, just absolute force to be reckoned with. Pinka looking on 4 HP. She still has 2 boosts using them. That's going to be a very nice pick. EMS getting up, following it up. Meaning gets a 2v2 now. Now the men, the ground, and standards are a bit more even out. Just second ago, we almost even saw a gunfire from tower window to kids window, but it sadly didn't happen. Just, kind of things didn't align all too well. Finka using that boost, we have 44 right now. I would have preferred maybe using it, once you're actually a bit closer to sight. So you and your teammate, when they go in for the execute, you use it. The Ash also profits a bit off of it, but doesn't matter. You don't want to risk it. That's completely fine. Now we're going into the last minute. It's a 2v2. We still have a lot of time to drone it out, to get some of the gadgets out there, and that's definitely going to be it.
That's the point, getting some intel, getting some information on the defensive side. Where are these two defenders? Where's the smoke? And maybe getting the first pick on the man with the toxic babes. And they didn't know BMS with Nixon, and this is a very important one. The first toxic babe canister out on the Finker. Yeah, okay, only 14 life points left, so only one step. Yeah, too close to the death, I would say. Trying to get the next execution. Third smoke canister. They got the cross. They got the diffuser. And I would say this is the next point for Rocks Horizon. And this should be normally the first option for a match point. And yeah, the round is over. Rocks Horizon is taking the lead and is taking and bringing the comeback here on the table. 6-5 with a really strong defensive setup here.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, their defenses have been impenetrable because Lumina, they've been trying on defense, or actually on attack, pardon me. On defense is when they had a very good time, and this is where the timeout comes out. It's 6-5, and yeah, we have basically 40 seconds of timeout. We're going to be switching it back to cam, so we can give the lobby a bit of privacy. But on the attack, they've been struggling. Rocks Horizon definitely managed to get themselves that one round on attack, and it could be very detrimental for the first match. Oh.
Okay, just like that, I'm back yet again. It has been an extremely close game. At first, seeing how Lumina was just kind of running away with it, I was scared it would be a bit too short. But no, it is providing us emotions to the very end, and I'm hoping that we could maybe still see it go to 6-6 potentially. That'd be pretty exciting. But anyway, as the teams are wrapping up the timeout, let's kind of head back and see where things are about to go down.
There we go. We're back. Now Lumina took their time. They talked things through. They had a moment earlier when the rehost was happening as well. But Rocks Horizon, we said Rocks Horizon was going to win. Maybe it's going to come to fruition, at least for the Oregon match. It's 6-5. They're on match point. They win this. Next map. We continue. We move forward. Lumina still has a fight to put. They still have something to actually prove. But what do you think? What do you think actually Lumina's biggest weaknesses here are?
The biggest weakness was, I would say, they were too greedy when they shouldn't be too greedy, and that's the point. So, yeah, if you win your gunfights and you can't finish the round off, that's a problem. So, I would say they had everything they needed, and now they have the chance to bring themselves to overtime, to get this round, winning this off spot, winning again, meeting. I would say they only have to play the same thing as the same strat as the last one. Emission is taking the first one out. Shoko, Sama. Okay, Malusi has been planted, yes, but not really the important operator at the moment, so this could be a very important one. Yeah, Legion is out, Refrag is on the point, that's a big one for Fire, really important one I would say, but hey, 2 men down from Rocks Horizon, and Lumina with a great first execution here, so interesting next 2 minutes I would say.
Yeah, Lumina having a very solid start, but now they've lost their hard bridge due to just very good teamwork from the side of Rocks Horizon. I mean, we saw BMS, he was having a bit of trouble, got gritty, just like Lumina has been showing up until, or in the very few rounds. You know, he managed to get refragged in time. Just a very good come in from the Fires, for the side of Fire, bringing the heat, definitely taking out the Thermite, and overall denying any type of hard breach, but we still have soft breach. I mean, we have the Ash, we have the Ram just destroying absolutely everything it touches, and we're in that situation. I mean, it's starting to slowly kind of descend upon these attackers, or defenders even, because the defenders, you know, they're starting to take a bit more aggression, just like that. Venom's back at it again, gets another one onto a mission, the golden hand of the so-called Lumina Gaming as for now, and with that 1 minute, it's a 3v3. Not too much happening, not too little, but we're going to need to start getting to that execute, and so we do. Don't could be going for that plant. Just the defenders did not even know they're in sight. No control over the side of Kitchen. Venom's going for a bit of a flank, and now we're in the post-plant fit situation. Fire gets himself one. JJ is going to be getting off the board, or JJ not doing too well. An unexpected Pango just camping upstairs, taking out the Venoms. A second kill coming in. That's going to be Nixon with an R4C in hand, and there it is. Defender's now alone with the bandit. He's just trying to take out these attackers. He needs to go up. He needs to get them in the perfect 1v1 situations, and he needs to do it in time. He has 14 seconds before the defuse comes off. He takes out the Ash, and now we all have a 1v1. And this is going to get close, as Pango will be finishing the job, and Lumina is going to be getting their 6th round after a 5-round loss, basically.
Yeah, and a really close one again here in the last seconds. Okay, he didn't know that the second one also was on the top side. He knew where the... Okay, yeah, Ram and Ash both with the R4C. Maybe he knew the call was there. We got one on the lower white here, so where the execution fell like the last time. Okay, he knew one rotated upstairs. Nah, okay. A few seconds earlier, the Ram also got a kill. So he probably he could knew that both were upside. Okay, and he didn't knew where she was. So difficult to say, I would say. 6-6, so we're going for the tie, we're going for the overtime, we're going for the defense with Rocks Horizon and the potential of 2 strong bomb sites, one in the basement and one on the master side at the top. So I don't know, I would probably say at the moment maybe Rocks Horizon is in the better position, but Lumina has maybe a secret weapon. The Blitz is on the roster, so maybe a mission has a mission to go for his execution, maybe to go for more than his 5 kills after the rehearse, and yeah, maybe this could work very well for them.
Yeah, I mean, this lineup on the side of Lumina is throwing me all the way back to 2018. We have the Chugga Chugga train with the Blitz coming in. Behind them is going to be Jackal, assumingly. Maybe not. They're going to be pushing through Bunker. And most assumingly is going to be Elbow, because Blitz is very good at just overall kind of taking it out. You know, he's an absolute demolition machine. He runs through. He doesn't care about bullets. He eats them up like the money you spent on this game. And with that, I mean, he's going to keep on chugging through. He doesn't need fuel. His fuel is your frags, and that's what he wants, that KD to go up. And a mission, just like you said, he has a mission, and he's definitely getting ready for it. These attackers, they're prepping up. They haven't taken too much ground. They've definitely droned it out. They've definitely secured themselves into it, making it a bit more like home. But they still need to get to the execute. They need to actually prep up and get this jump on the defenders so they don't expect it. The Warden is going to be a very good counter for the Blitz, but see these attackers, they're getting a lot more set up in place. I mean, we have Pango right now just on backstairs. We have the attackers taking out hatches, clearing off positions, and in general, putting themselves into position.
That's the point. Getting this position and the opening BMS with JJ5 again, getting him out the Twitch, not for this round. So we got the first kill, 1 minute 20 seconds left. Okay, it's the Blitz against the 1 against 2, getting the first one, yeah, but the refund is instant. There, fire also as well as Venom, and Venom with the second one. No execution for Lumina, so Rocks Horizon is taking the first round in this overtime again, taking the next step on taking their match point again on their side. So 7-6 with a good execution denied from Rocks Horizon.
Yes, yes, yes. Ooh, this is getting close. I'm getting very amped up. I mean, my energy levels are just spiking as of current because 7-6. It seems like Rocks Horizon has the upper hand, but that's only when they're on the defensive. Now Lumina is back where they lead. That's where they got their first 5 rounds. And I mean, on attack, they struggle. But definitely not on defense. That's where they've proven themselves worthy of the team they've actually been up until now and where they've positioned themselves in the league. So I'm going to assume this round is going to be going to them. I mean, I'm not giving complete hopes up for Rocks Horizon. I definitely am still putting my money on them, putting it all on red. But instead of it being the color red, it's going to be Rocks Horizon written all over it. So, I mean, Rocks Horizon not too good on attack. Lumina not very good on defense. It's going to be good. But then in the end, I feel like Rocks Horizon, if it does come to a 7-7 score, which is going to lead us to the very final round, that means Rocks is going to be back to defense, and that's when Lumina are going to really need to amp up their game. They're going to need to do something new. I really do respect how they try this round. I mean, the Blitz rush coming in late, just kind of baiting them that, you know, it was all a diversion. It wasn't actually going to happen. Boom! Jumps out, gets the Warden, surprisingly the Warden, but the Smoke manages to get a refrag, and it all collapses. It was a 4v1 in an instant. No gunfights were won, but Lumina's now on defense, so maybe they can give it a bit of a better shot.
And they tried it already with a very aggressive mirror, jumping out of the white stairs window. And this could be a very interesting one, or it could have been a very interesting one if you get your first kill on this side. But we also see a very aggressive potential, or maybe idea from the Dokairi, the Maru, the Blitz. A very interesting combination here. So yeah, this could really be a very interesting one. And if maybe they go for an aggressive push, maybe go for aggressive, maybe aggressive late push is also potential. But we see on defensive side again, Tubarao. We saw it earlier, the counter against the hatchers, against the early breach. So I would say we're going again into the last seconds in this matchup and on this round. So this could be a very interesting one.
Yeah, for certain. I mean, not much has happened. The only thing that is, BMS took a bit of damage, just a tiny little then and there, but not too much. I mean, we're back like it happened earlier. It's the same site, and even the lineup on attack seems very similar with the Blitz and Grim, and of course on the defensive, it's not too different either. So, you know, we're kind of just exchanging them, but this time, you know, it's the second one. Maybe teams have actually decided, you know, what's right, what went wrong, and what not to do and what to do. The do's and don'ts, some may say. But it's down to the final minute. Things are going to need to escalate quickly. They're going to need to kind of start amping it up. All of that type. And right now, the defenders are getting a lot more aggressive. The first one goes and makes an opening kill onto Coded. 40 seconds on the clock, a very late kill, but that shotgun is definitely deadly enough to deliver the blow, especially even up close. I mean, you're not going to be winning against a smoke shotgun. It's absolutely terrifying to even see. I mean, just seeing it as a caster already terrifies me. What would I do if I was a player? I don't even want to get into the details. The Bliss comes in. Not expecting Nixon's going to be getting the SMG. 11-second kill for him. Pango, a C4 coming. Venoms gets one. The SMG 12 in hand. Oh, what a headshot. That's going to be a double kill for him. His teammate is sadly down, so not going to be able to help him there. Pulls out the DMR. Gets him. Gets a mission, but JJ downing this, his his enemy will be there to finish the job. And with that, I mean, oh my god, that was brain frying for me. That was just, it was kind of like just an overall mess, like spaghetti. There we go. I'll say spaghetti.
Yeah, interesting play, I would say. Interesting idea. Okay, going, yeah, for maybe for the aggressive one. Okay, they tried it to time it. Then they lost their first player on the tower stairs. Maybe this was the start of the ending here in this round. And yeah, they didn't got the intel. They didn't got the information on Nixon here again, and he could play his A game again like he wanted it. So 7 kills after, we have to say it, after the rehaul, 7 kills from Nixon. And also I would say like 7, 8, 9 kills before. So he has a really good game at the mission, and a mission also as well has a really good game. I would say 12 kills before the rehost. So both of them are carrying their team at the moment really, really really want like this one. So yeah, and that's the point. They are carrying their team, but the attack of Rox Horizon, it was a try, but not more. So maybe going for the defense would be the better part. So no, it's not the better part. It's the only option they got for winning this game or this match.
Yeah, definitely. If they want to get a good head start on the BO3, Lumina, I mean, on defensive, they need to actually put up a good fight. And that's exactly what they're not doing a mission, just jumping into tower, into Koded's hands. Koded's going to be, giving him a right old hug, but, hugging him with a big sharp knives or bullets, some may say. Get an opening pick, that's going to be the Grim off the board, and a very early kill as well. So not much of prep is going to be happening up until, and any execution, even up until now. So that Grim is going to be a bit of a waste, especially, I mean, it was a gunfight. The Grim took it. He was at a disadvantage. He was repelling in. He'd had no clue. He probably droned out coded. Probably knew the essential of, oh, he's on the stairs. He could have moved up. He could have moved on. He could have started throwing Pokeballs for all you know. And with that, I mean, you're going up a bigger angle, to say the least. Whatever it may be, breach is open. A and B are exposed. Both sides are open. The plant is going down. Now Rexy is going for it in the complete smoke. And the Grim is... Actually, not the Grim. The Fire is going to be throwing a C4. Chaco getting one for himself, a 5v2 situation. Picking up the Diffuser again. Doesn't matter. BMS is going to be picking up another kill for himself. Taking off AJ off the board. MPX in hand. Doesn't need the 1.5. And Nixon is going to be alone in a 1v5. Ash players, they don't tend to have head-head boxes, as he's going to be taking the head of Choco, revealing himself to White, taking quite a sum of damage. 48 HP on the clock. Challenge is Attic. No one's there. The Lucy is set off, and so is the information. They all know where he is, and Fire will be finishing the job. And Rox Horizon winning at 1 out of 3. Oregon is going to be going to their hands. A very interesting final match, but Lumina, they just got annihilated. I mean, I like how Gridlock tracks were set onto the Warden so he couldn't activate his glasses and start, shooting at the smoke where the planter was. He still has a C4, and he chucked it. He threw it. A basketball player he was, absolutely yeeted it into the smoke and managed to win themselves a very nice match. And that's going to be Rox Horizon's first map. Hello? Okay. Yeah. So basically, with that, yeah, I mean, it was a very good match. I do kind of see a bit of a curse going on between the players, just in general, the defense side being a lot more focused and a lot better for both of them, but with that, Rox Horizon is going to be taking the W for this one. We still have a lot going in forward, but yeah, with that, I mean, for me personally, it was a very interesting match. How the defensive was always on the win, at least in the majority, besides like one round, almost two. But in the end, this was a very interesting cast. What do you think? How did you enjoy that, Pifkari?
Yeah, very close matchup of both sides, and I would say it was like the small things who decided this game. We saw it like in the round, the first meeting attack for Lumina Gaming, and I would say maybe on this point they threw the match a bit away, and yeah, that's the problem. You got everything on your side. You got the 2v1 man advantage. You don't have to peek a Maestro, especially not if you got the Alda. I mean, the TCSG 12 is also a very strong weapon, but with the Alda, you got like 80 bullets in your magazine, so don't peek this. And again, last round, we saw like a bit of the same situation. You're going in the tower and you don't know if it's free or not, and like if you throw it like this easy, then you don't want to win it, I would say. So a bit more in the important in the important rounds, and then you would win this from Lumina Gaming. But a really strong one from both sides. And I would say with these words, we will send you in a little break until we are back with a map, a number 2, Night Haven Labs. So see you in a few minutes.
As you were always on my mind, and you were never far away. And though you'd always take your time, you light the sky up like the day.
We all knew that the game for third place is going to be a real nail biter, but I don't think we expected it to be that close. Okay, we kind of did, given how previous head-to-heads were kind of close, but to the last second of the very last round, you still couldn't really tell who's going to win. And now, as we go onto a newer map like Nighthaven, where, strats aren't as, hard coded into people, it's going to be even more interesting. And if this pattern continues, could we go all the way to Clubhouse? I mean, what do you guys think? Starting off with Papa Bob.
Yeah, I would say Lumina Gaming has totally the potential for winning the second map and going through the third map, going to Clubhouse. Yeah, but the problem I would say might be okay. Well, on one step, taking the attacking points at home. So this is step one, but it's the step one for both teams. So this could maybe point one where they got to bring, and they are starting on their attacking side. This could also be maybe interesting. So I would say if they are able to get 2 rounds of the first 3, then they are going to going to win this map, because then I would say they're on the cycle again, getting better into the game. Maybe on Nighthaven is also their pick, so maybe getting some confidence back, I would say. And yeah, this could be a very interesting one if they don't manage to win like these 2 rounds, or maybe go on a 0-3 in the first 3 rounds. Then it's going to be a very long walk for them home, because yeah, Nighthaven Labs should be normally maybe like a 3-3 split, or maybe like a 2-4 for the attacking side, or like 4-2, I would say. And this could be very interesting. So Lumina has to win, I would say, at least the second round. Lose the first round, okay. Win the second round, win the third round, then we will get the match. But if they don't get this, I would say Rocks Horizon is confident enough to win the second round as well.
Yeah, and now that we can hopefully hear your wonderful voice again, Papa Bob. Any final predictions before we jump in? The lobby is ready, the players are eager. So anything left to say before I let you guys continue?
I'm gonna keep it to Rocks Horizon. I'm gonna keep my money on the table where I left it, just like the first round. I hope it goes to them. But Lumina, maybe they have some tricks up their sleeves. But like I said, players are ready, so let's not keep stalling.
Okay, guys, take it away and have fun on Nighthaven.
Oh, Nighthaven Labs, man.
Thanks a lot. So we're going in, and maybe we'll see the same as we saw earlier. Maybe we see a bit of a switching, and maybe we see some special operator bands. Yeah, we saw, like earlier, we saw the multi-band. Maybe we'll see this time. It could be a special or a potential good point for maybe Lumina Gaming of the living drone, but Monty the Mountain is out as well for this round, so no living shield wall for both attacking side, and the Maverick is out as well. Okay, interesting pick, but with Maverick you could play, well, a good point, I would say. So nothing really special for taking him out. Good gun, a good gadget, the smokes on the Claymore, so the complete package is really good. Azami, a really important pick for the defense, normally not only on Nighthaven, on many maps, so as well taking her out, her ability and her strong guns. I totally agree with this. And the last one is a Tubarao. Yeah, we saw him earlier used by Lumina Gaming here on the defensive side. So I totally agree with this one as well. What do you say, Bob?
I agree with all these bands. I mean, Monty, just in general, truck of an operator. Same goes for Maverick, although Maverick is Because of the upstairs main breach, I'd say mostly because, it connects to the outside. You can go and repel, you can Maverick trick it if you need it, and it still connects to rafters, it still connects to the door directly in front of sight. So it's in general, very good operative pick. For the Zami and Tubarao, I would personally say, on Clubhouse, on Oregon, on maps like that where you're really used to Azamis and Tubarao not being needed just because everyone knows how to perfectly bandit trick, everyone knows how to get around such situations. Azami and Tubarao are kind of operators that really make things a lot smoother, a lot easier, a lot faster to go through certain processes. And on a map like this, they really want to deny it. They want these defenders to not have as an easy time as they should. So getting rid of those two is definitely going to be a very good, just in general, pick. Also because they waste a lot of time, and as we see right now, I mean, the defenders, they don't have a Cade, they don't have a Bandit, they're planning to waste time, and with Tubarao and Azami, God knows, the attackers couldn't even get to the site by the time they managed to destroy the third Azami barrier. So with that, I mean, it's just about time wastage and kind of smoothing up the process, kind of, making the wood a bit more smooth, not as prickly, some would say. These attackers, you see the Dokkaebi again. I mean, Dokkaebi, one of the 4 deadly horseman operators of Siege, along with Deimos, just an in generally fantastic operator to bring through 1v1 situations, and everything else seems like run-of-the-mill. Buck, Ash, Sob Breach, and Hard Breach for Thermite. It's a nice little formula to get it all going.
And also, it's going as well, very well at the moment. First breach is done. Second breach, I would say, maybe it will be done as well. And there we go. Both top breaches are done. The entry is now possible to go in, and we see the Buck in electric in a very aggressive position. Yeah, okay, we've got the mirror window across not only the top of warehouse. No, we got also the second mirror window again through the garden side, and Fire is taking the first one out. Pango, but JJ5 on the mission are taking back as well as BMS. So both teams are starting very well in this round here. JJ5 with the next one, so only BMS left, and they know that he's not on site, so he is in a 3v1 situation, and now tracked by the Deimos, tracked with the life thing. They know him, they don't have to peek him. I would say the same mistake, they won't make it the second time, and yeah, they're going for the plant, and now they're in a 3v1 situation. And I would say this probably should be the first round for Lumina Gaming.
Definitely should. I mean, not only do they have the intel on him, not only is it 3v1 crossfire, anything he peeks, there we go, mission proving my point even more. Just gonna get absolutely destroyed. The narrow windows were open. Every single site and flank was possible from the attacking side, and Valkyrie was just kind of tucked into a corner. If she left that corner, she was basically doomed. And not only that, if she didn't leave that corner in time, she couldn't defuse. So it was a lose-lose situation for her, and Lumina managed to get themselves the attacking round number 1. And continuing, we're going to be going to command center and service, which is basically another way of saying downstairs or basement for some other players, whatever it may be. Let's take a look at what these defenders are going to be bringing now. Actually, we're going to be switching it to upstairs. That is not downstairs or basement, that is upstairs. Look, this proves how good my callouts are with this map. But yeah, we're going upstairs, and the ones which I do love seeing, at Bandit. Joko bringing out the Bandit. They want to take these breaches a bit more seriously. They want to protect these mirrors just a bit more than a mute. A mute's fine and all. I mean, it denies many things. But how easily it could be accessed, destroyed, taken out, all those sorts of things is just not compared to Bandit. And with that, I mean, it was also a very good run for Lumina with how manageable their punishes were. I mean, they got taken out. The side of Rocks Horizon was also punishing and refragging quite oftenly at the very first 2 kills. But who the hell was jumping by the mirror window, vaulting into Deimos' revolver? I have no clue. It was just a very good pick for Lumina, but, very unnecessary if you ask me. A bit of greed coming from Rocks Horizon, and we're barely in the first round.
Yeah, that's the problem if you played like this open. You got the problem when the garden or the connector side here fell apart. that's the problem. You could. It's not very easy to hold it. Yeah, okay. You normally have to play with this side because you have to extend your defense, but it's not easy when when you lose the connector, I would say. So yeah, probably it's for both sides, or for the attacking side, it's normally a bit easier. So playing this year, maybe from downstairs, it could be a plan. We've got the Valkyrie, we've got the C4, we've got the potential is there, but Emission as well as JJ5 again with their 2 openings, again with Lumina, again with a 2v4 situation, and I would say this defense is not impossible at the moment here. And again, the next one, Coded with a good placed knife here at Joko. He gets reactors as well, but it's a 3v1 situation, and only Coded left, and now they know where he is, and so this must be the second round for Lumina here on attack.
Yeah, Coda having the combined HP over Pangos and JJFs, the plant is going down. Surprisingly, Buck with the most HP with 110 is still looking full and sharp, is the one planting. I would have, had to go over maybe towards Dokkaebi, but doesn't matter. JJ, didn't get the plant, wasn't too good on HP, but still had that L85 in hand, and he delivered that punishing shot. He managed to finish the job and managed to get Lumina second round. Now, Look, I'm not jinxing anything, okay? Just stick with me, but this is starting to look like previous round, Lumina having a very good start, a very dominant one. And although this time it isn't on defense, it's going to be on attack. But yeah, Rox Horizon, going for a second time upstairs. Didn't see that worked out. So now, finally, we're going to be going into downstairs, which isn't going to be Servers and Command Center, as previously stated by me, is going to be tank and assembly.
Yeah, and the basement side is not easy to play. Yeah, it's a problem. Nearly 90% of the ceiling is breachable, so with the mirror it won't be easy to play this year. So I would say we hopefully see a bit of a ROM here. We see the Valkyrie again on the board. Joko, they switched a bit, and yeah, maybe with a dual ROM here upstairs, it could be a potential 3-4 man upstairs. Okay, this is a very interesting one, and could be a very interesting one. As well as taking the mute outside. We saw Dokkaebi with a very aggressive playstyle. We saw the Deimos with the very aggressive playstyle. So Lumina wants to bring the speed again here through the board. So this could be interesting as well. Breach is up, and now we see the call, and that's a good point. Taking out the mute could be a very interesting one if they know where he is, and they don't know where he is. So Coded with their opening. Nixon gets out Joko. BMF with Nixon. Refrag is there. So the defense is standing here for the first seconds. Definitely better than the last 2 rounds, but Pango is on point, taking out BMS. Refrag on the point as well. 3-3. After one minute, a 4-man out. It's a good start for everyone out there.
Most definitely. I mean, JJ right now having a bit of a showdown with Coded, but I do like the lineup for the side of Lumina, and I like how they went with things. They didn't bring a Thatcher, didn't bring any type of EMPs or anything to help out the breach, because they just ignored main breach. Venom's brought out the bandit. He was hoping to get some tricks in. He was hoping to deny some bread loaves on that main wall, but in the end, he himself was denied of anything. And with that, the attackers went upstairs. They cleared out everything. They're looking at a very nice and quick roam clear, but now they're kind of getting down to the last minute where the action starts. So this is where we're just slowly coming towards up on it, but you still need to get to that execute. Rexy starting it off with a very nice go onto Venoms. That's going to be the SMG-11, not able to finish the job, but heavily damaged. JJF punching out a hole just maybe for himself to get a very nice clean kill. He couldn't get the first chance out. Maybe he's going to be able to execute the second. Now Ace is going for the plant. very nice and secure spot. He has the C4 is still there for fire, but he's not going to be throwing it just yet. The fuser is down. Ace peeking out, a bit of greediness coming from him. He could play it very safely. Lumina, don't repeat the mistake he did on Oregon. There comes the first down uncoded, but he's not completely out. Miro could be going for the revive. There we go. Rex is off the board. He's down. Coded, so is 2, but now getting up with the 25 seconds on clock. They need to remember 6 seconds is still for the defuse. Nades are coming off. The attackers are expanding into the territory. The defenders, and just like that, a nice double P coming in, and Pango to finish Coded off just for the second time. You know, earlier he downed him. Now he's going to be there to finish the job. And with that, third round is going over to Lumina and Pavkari again. You saw that Ace. He kept on peeking. They're very greedy.
But they know that they will get the pick for their side. So again, the next round for Lumina, and no, they got 3 out of 3 rounds and 3 really strong attacks, I would say. Here again, yeah, we saw that's how you play in SMG, not like before. Okay, it's not easy. All the players. I have respect for all the players who could play these guns like this. So yeah, sometimes it's just a bit of luck or bad luck. So I don't know. Lumina made a good execution. Okay, they didn't get the first frag because they ran into a freebie, I would say. So, but then they could capitalize on. Their strength again, played the refrags, played together, and this was very important. Going for the plant when they could go to, or when they could go in it, so important again. And I would say the same as I said earlier. I would say again, but. This time on the other side, Rocks Horizon lost 3 rounds. Yeah, they also should have won, especially I would say 1 of the 3 rounds. So now it will get really, really hard for them. Coded, only 5 HP left. Yeah, it gets out Pango, but this was a very expensive first pick for them.
Most definitely was, but Rocks Horizon, you know, they're again here with the first pick, but do they continue it? This is going exactly the same tradition as it was earlier, because they get the opening pick. They have a good start. They just can't follow it through. Lumina ended up winning the first 5-1 swap. So with that, I mean, I'm really hoping that these players learn from the mistakes. I'm hoping that they manage to, you know, carry something out of Oregon and bring it on to Nighthaven as of current, because right now, Rocks Horizon, they're doing the same thing. They have the opening pick. Okay, Coded isn't looking too good on HP, but I'd rather have 5 HP than being 6 foot under, if you know what I mean. And with that, I mean, things are heating down, or actually slowing down just a bit. But just as I say that, Nixon gets a pick onto BMS, making it a 4v4 situation. And Choco with a refrag coming in. That's going to be a double kill, a trade for his teammates of making it a 4v2 situation. And Rocks Horizon looking very good right now. A trade coming in a bit late. JJ getting taken off by Venoms. That's going to be the Deimos dropping on the stairs, and Venoms finishing the job. Nixon off the board. And just like Nixon took out some players, he got taken out right after them. With Venoms being still very hot-minded, you know, he's still pretty fresh. He's right out the shower. He's ready for these frags, just like he was doing them the previous match. He's continuing that fashion.
And a really strong one around this one. Important one as well. And Rocks Horizon just played a really good strategy from a really good roam this time. Did the get the backstabs on their side. So yeah, Lumina didn't get the control, the map control, or the roamer control. So yeah, sometimes you can't handle your opponent when he's playing it very good. So in this time he played it, or they played it very good. So good round for Rocks Horizon, and an important one. So you don't get overrun too heavy, and that's the point. Getting the first round, maybe now getting the second round, maybe playing like a 2-4 split could be essential, and that's maybe the point. We saw it in the match before, like on the other side, a stronger defense, a stronger attack. This time, Nighthaven Labs is a stronger attacking side, or attacking map. The attacking side is stronger, so this could be again the way to go. Winning more attacks than your opponent, and then you maybe will win the game, and this could be the point.
Yes, it very much could be. Now we see the Blitzes back in action. You know, it may not be Elbow, but he's definitely going to be, you know, throwing cans. He's definitely going to be there to be just absolutely chucking those flashes and smacking people on the floor while he can, because I don't see an Oryx on defense to counter him, or a Warden, so that would be an interesting interaction between him and any operator that, of course, can't blow him up with 5 pounds of C4. And with that, I mean, Dokkaebis are also starting to come out just slowly. Some mutes were able to counteract that gadget, but there comes the Blitz. He's starting to slowly rush in. There goes, punches the mirror window, gets a very good chunk of just everything. All out blands him. That's going to be fire off the board. A very nice hip fire. Actually, just a trigger finger in general. 3v5. Flank coming in. Down to the edge. Going to be a 2v5 in an instant. Still in a very good mood. I mean, they're looking at a 3-man advantage, not making it a 1-man advantage, seeing as 2 are down. Blitz coming in just as one of them is very heavily injured. That's going to be the Nomad. Choco getting a kill off his own. Now it's the Mute in a 1v3 situation if we count the Ashes being down. And there, Pango finishing the job, getting round 5 and the 4th round. The side of Lumina Gaming. And that Blitz worked out extremely well right there. And may I even mention, every single time Rocks Horizon has been upstairs, or at least the majority of them, have not been going too well for them. The only one they won was, okay, one of them was upstairs. The rest have been just kind of going downhill. And it's, I'm just getting flashbacks from Oregon.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's not good when they play it like this, and that's the point. It's too easy letting your warehouse open like this, and your opponent just walks in and sees everything you got. I mean, okay, you've got the control of garage, you've got the control of the side, you got the mirror window through the warehouse door, but you've got no opportunity to play against the warehouse window, and that's the big part, I would say. Just why did they open it like this? I would say why they open their side like this, like why they give their opponents these presents. And Lumina saw they saw the hole in the defense. They used it very good with the Blitz, and that's the point. Moving on with this, yeah, then you win. This is the way to win attacking rounds, knowing where the hole of the defense is, and then you could win it, and that's the point. And Lumina did this very well. So 4-1, I would say totally okay.
Not only okay, it's the same as Oregon. Actually, we got a bit of a heads up from the side of production. Guess it's to all of them. Absolute fantastic job they're doing. They did give us a bit of a heads up that this is exactly how Oregon went. I'm actually getting flashbacks. It went 4 rounds to Lumina, or 3 rounds, 1 going to Rocks Horizon. It's the same score. And as we're talking about that, Nixon gets himself a 1 onto Coded. Right after Coded took out Rexy. So that's going to be Thermite off the board, along with the Legion. So a bit of a win situation for Rocks Horizon, because they managed, or Lumina, because they managed to get the Thermite. But that's another down. That's going to be fire off the board. A 4v3 situation. Venom's finishing off a mission. JJ with a kill onto fire. Just a bit of a trade, not completely direct refrag, you could say. And now we're down to a 3v3. HP is looking very similar. But this Pulse, I mean, he has a microwave and a lot of explosive power on himself.
Oh, really good one. Venom with his second one in this round. JJ5 out again. And okay, this one was very important. Dima's getting out a Nixon. Pango with a Venom, yeah, dealing with his 2 kills on the side. But hey, 2 operators not on the side, and there's a Frost Trap. Okay, he knew it, because this would maybe, his name should have probably been on the mat here. So maybe he could clutch it. 46 health and more than 46 seconds on the clock, so the potential is on his side, I would say. And yeah, the potential is there, but the potential is also on the defense. We've got 1c4, we've got more than enough vision utility to go for the deny here, but the plant will go through it, and they don't know it. They didn't know it here at the moment.
Oh my god, the pulse was downstairs waiting for any plan to happen. He decides to go up, and that's when it happens. You know, timing in Siege, timing is absolutely fantastic, and that's why we love Siege for it. The Valkyrie getting a bit of a peek that headshot will not be connecting, and BMS will be securing himself the second kill as the second round, or round number 6, right before the roll swap, is going to Rock's Horizon, unless they call themselves, which I very heavily doubt they'd be willing to throw it for that. Just a bit of comical scenes, I guess you could refer to them as. But whatever it is, 4-2, thankfully. Thankfully, it's a bit of a switch. It's a bit different than previously. You know, we managed to break the curse. It's not 5-1. Although it was looking very similar. It was looking very match to match. I mean, Nomad getting that plan down and the pulse going away from checking if any plans are going to be actually happening the exact same second, or at least close enough to being the exact same second. Oh, the timing, the siege timing. I mean, it almost got all of us, but thankfully, Rocks Horizon got their catch on Lumina. Nomad is going to be getting taken out. With that, we're going on to Rocks Horizon on attack, Lumina on defense, and you know, the previous match, defenders were definitely the more prominent side to stick with. But this time, it seems like attack is being a bit more favorable by at least Lumina. We're going to have to see how Rocks is going to be sticking with it.
Yeah, this could be an interesting part, but I would also say Lumina knows what they have to do on their own map, and Nighthaven Labs, okay, it's a newer map, Arona said it earlier, so maybe the strats aren't all on the best side here, so yeah, maybe we just see Lumina picked their opponents with their map picks, so this could be this could be maybe the first part of the day. And so we go in the first defense of Lumina. Maybe we see it after 3 minutes in which direction the match will go here for maybe the defender side or maybe attacking side. I would say at the moment the defending side maybe a bit better from the operator picks. We see the Kate and the Bandit, so this could be a very interesting one for Rocks Horizon. Maybe if they can't get their first execution, maybe they can't get the opening, maybe they can't get the time to go for a breach, so this could be all be a potential neck breaker for them at the end of this round.
Most definitely, the potential is there, but we'll see if the neck breaking is. 2 minutes on the clock, we're slowly getting to the execute. You know, just like always, you want to take it nice and slowly, but if you don't take it nice and slowly, you have to take it as fast as you can. Doing it in between just kind of doesn't work out, you know, it's kind of just an incorrect combo to put together. Now, they are taking it nice and slowly, but do keep in mind, when you're going good about it that way, you definitely want to make sure that execute is ready because clock is sticky. You need to get that plan down, and when the execute comes, if you're taking it nice and slowly through the entire match, you're going to have no time left to actually pull it off, and you're just going to need to just go how it's planned and hope it all works out, you know, play with the team, and just like that, Fire is going to be taken off of the live teammate. Just like that, also a trade comes out. JJ taken out by Venoms, and of course JJ was the one who took out Fire, so a very nice refrag coming from the side of the Thermite. Unexpected to come upstairs. Seems like the Goyo was, or JJF, was definitely expecting him, but just didn't seem to react. Not a clue what happened there. But we're down to the final minute. This is where the execute comes off. We still see the buck below playing, and Venom's getting taken out by a mission, and may we even mention the HP of Warden, who just got taken out, along with a mission being extremely low. You know, he got himself a frag, but he's not looking too good on those hit points, and the push is coming in from the Vera. I mean, she's being very aggressive. She has that vector. She's confident in the 417 shots are being fired. The crouch comes out, but BMS is going to be winning that gunfight.
Yeah, so it's a 3v2 situation, only 25 seconds left. Next try here, Pango and a mission, 2 important ones! So only BMS, only the 417, only the DMR on the attacking side, and only he has the potential to clutch this round, only he has the chance. Maybe he has to be the one who brings the shot on the target, not this time. A mission with 6 HP left, takes the point on his side, takes the trigger. and finds the way, or his bullet finds the way into his opponent. And so we see the 5th round of Lumina Gaming, and now they are 3 rounds ahead of their opponents. So I would say Lumina has made a really good decision with this map here with Nighthaven Labs.
Yes, they have. It seems to be working with them like a charm, like a little fairy guiding them to their victory, like even like an elf stealing the victory from Rocks Horizon. Lumina is definitely having a good time, but 5-2, 5-1. I just can't get it out of my head. That Oregon match was a mess. I mean, the first kill on the Oregon match was a flawless drone kill, but yeah, it's basically the same. After the role swap, Rocks Horizon got the first round, and 5-2. We're looking extremely similar. This is, oh god, I'm starting to get a headache. But Lumina, this time I'm really praying it's not the same. Rocks Horizon, with how they pulled it off previously, absolutely fantastic. They managed to actually use that defensive, use that turtling, use that roaming, all combination like Lumina to get back at them and manage to win, and even sometimes punish Lumina's greediness. Lumina, come on, you can't let it happen twice. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And that's Lumina's situation right now, because if they don't get these 2 rounds, they need to get 1 to be in match point. That's already enough pressure for these enemies. But just 1. 1 is all you need to apply some extra pressure, and just to get them on the edge just a tiny bit more. And then that final round is going to flick them right off and give yourself a very last chance at winning this, because please don't make me go through that again.
That's a good point. Let us take a clean round, and let us bring back Lumina here for this map, and let us bring the 3rd map here for tonight. So we want to see here the full execution, and BMS is on it with the first one, getting out JJF5 with a really good one, but the refrag is on, so they didn't know where the castle was positioned, but Coded again, okay, not the opening this time, but he managed it the last rounds often enough to be one of the important players for Rocks Horizon. And here's the next one from Coded, taking out Reaxis, taking out the Roma, the second one. So now they should be in a good 2v4 situation for the final execution. Yeah, probably should is not they are, and that's the point. So getting the transition is the point which Rocks Horizon failed on Oregon often enough. And here's the first one, Emission, taking out Coded, taking out the second one, 2v1. Really important refrag with fire.
2v1, there we go. Now it's the ace, now it's the buck, and they're off a face-off on against Nixon. And Nixon has been quite a deadly character throughout these matches. And there it goes, the SMG-11 bringing Buck down to his last 12 HP. Almost finished the job, but won't be quite there. I can't just keep screaming yet. No, I kind of have to settle it down but that HP is very low. I mean, Buck 12, you get farted on and you're basically out of this match. Venoms, though, is going to need to be a bit more reliant. I would recommend the Buck to be going for the plan just like that, so he doesn't end up going into an unfortunate gunfight. The smoke is going to be going out a bit late, but I don't think it's going to be connecting. No, it will not. The plant is on. 40 seconds on the clock. You need to reserve 6 just for the fusion. And with that, I mean, smoke is slowly but surely starting to make his way through. He has that SMG-11, which is, without a doubt, I mean, the best secondary in the game. Even beats some primaries, I would argue. But Smoke, he doesn't know what's happening. I mean, Nixon is just completely confused. But, yeah, well, Peftar, you wanted to say?
He could decide where to go, but he went for the defuse, couldn't hold it. What's good? He gets the first one, but the time is not enough. So now he should have gone, and fire is above him. So, yeah. What do you think? Normally he should have gone through the top side, but the time at this point was really low.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Nixon being very confused. He went left, he went right, switched back, did a double back, decided to do a flip, a bit of a somersault in the middle, decided to pull off a bit of a dance. But at the end, yeah, I feel like he took his time way too dearly. even when the plant was down the first second, even before the plant was going down, he had the buck extremely low. Maybe he didn't know it, but when they were actually planting, he took his time, checked, threw the smoke canister, plant was down, and then slowly checked every corner. Even though he knew where they planted, he definitely knew where they planted because, I mean, one side was his, the other side was completely barricaded off, besides that one corner where the actual diffuser was in the end. So he went slowly, checked that corner, checked that one, boom, 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 boom. Then he checked again, went to the stairs, did a bit of a twist, a 360 now and then he decided, when 25 seconds were remaining, he decided to actually commit to something, which was way too much. I mean, 15 seconds were basically wasted. And with that, I mean, it doesn't matter if you went upstairs or downstairs. Once that plant is down, you need to commit to something. Because if you don't commit, you're going to be wasting time. If you can't think of it on the spot, if you can't do it, I mean, it comes down to that situation. And Rocks Horizon managed to get their third round. Now Lumina, I hate repeating it. I hate myself every time I repeat it. Don't think I'm saying this just to bully them, but I don't like it. See, I don't like repetition. I don't like them, just kind of going at the same pace. And now bandit tricking, they get one of the thermite breaches, a very good utility usage for the bandit, and also good utility destruction from the thermite. Just in general, bandit right now, a mission, very good job at starting it off, but yeah, how it's going right now, I'm scared.
Yeah, these are normally the easy parts of taking maybe the first entry. JJF taking out Joko, first one out, especially the thermite. Okay, he couldn't deal with the breach and he couldn't deal with this, staying alive here. Pango of the next one. A good start for Luminar in this round again, and I don't know, Rocks Horizon. Okay, Fire with a really important one, taking out JGF, taking out the Legion. We all know getting the Legion out as early as possible is a really important, and Reaxis, Reaxis is reacting on the situation very good, and Pango says no, not this time. Fire out, so only a 4v1 situation, only Coded left. Yeah, I would say Coded is a really strong player, but I would say he's really strong in taking the entry frags, taking the first ones, and not for clutching, not this time I would say. So this could be the first step for match point for Lumina. First one is out, second one Coded. Yeah, maybe he says, Kari, you're not telling the truth. Not this time.
Right now is having a bit of a midlife crisis because that was looking like a clutch. Okay, Lumina right now were looking like they were about to lose because it went from a 4v1 situation to a 2v1. Although thankfully it didn't go that way. Thankfully, Coded did get shut down because he has been bringing the heat. He is definitely putting that bullet into the gun and shooting it out the way it's meant to be shot. And Lumina, for the first time today, surprisingly, I'm going to be saying this with a very, I'm still down for Rocks Horizon to win. I'm still, rooting for them, but I can't be necessarily too biased. So I'm going to be saying Lumina for the first time, they got themselves match point, and they got it early enough to put a decent amount of pressure on Rocks Horizon, chill themselves out just enough to be in this kind of relaxing play style. There's flow state. They're doing good. They're 6-3, and Rocks Horizon now needs to win, how much is that? 1, 2, and 3 rounds in a row to have a chance at winning this map. Not even to win it. They need to win 3 rounds in a row. You know how much that is against, even as an attacker. Because attackers, when they're punished, their punishes can be, at times, a lot more detrimental than defenders. You could say that for both sides, but attackers, they have thermite. If he gets taken out too early, that means no hard breach. That's going to be crossfires that means crossfires across the entire map for the defenders. And even with Mirai, if the Mirai windows don't get taken out properly, these types of plays, you really need to watch out as an attacker. But you do have the gunfire. You do have the frag potential. A lot higher than defenders, you could say. So, Rocks Horizon, you better watch out. Just like that. Coda taking some early damage, not too good. Sadly, he didn't manage to fight back or actually return the so-called damage or maybe even get a kill for himself, but nothing too large of scale actually went down.
Maybe getting a first one down here with a good entry from the Blitz. Could it be very aggressive one, or they tried to be aggressive one? At the first moment, I thought they don't go with the hard breach this time, but yeah, we've got the ace. The ace is also a very strong gunner. JG5 getting out choker. Mission was already dealt with, and so we got a Mexican standoff, I would say. 3v3 situation here on the back stairs, and maybe this could be a really good engage here. Again, Coded getting out reactors. There's the next one. Ooh, important. JJ5 with BMS was taking over, tried to get the next one. Oh no, what is happening? Coded, and now they're going for the final execution. They're going for the final one, maybe taking down the plant at the same time. So one is playing with the opponent, the other one is taking the plant. This could be the point here, and there it is. So 3v1 situation, and the plant is going down. So this should be a round for Rocks Horizon.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, Rocks Horizon, they have a 3v1. They have the plant, they have the A's going for it. And like that, I mean, with the Blitz kind of just pushing the Legion back, even if the Legion manages to get the kill on the Blitz, he still pushed back. You know, that time was wasted dearly, and that Blitz was doing a fine job. You know, he was just vibing out, going left and right, just like Nixon and his defensive when he was in the post-plant situation a couple rounds back, but he was vibing out, you know, securing no entry here. You can't go past me unless you want to go for a knife fight, which going up against the Blitz and him not being a warden, Legion won't be having too good of an option to deal with. I mean, he is the cargo king after all, but he doesn't have Google glasses to back him up. He doesn't have that night vision or that anti-stun against the Blitz to counter him. Neither does he have a C4 and any impact set to kind of catch him off guard or to counter his shield tactics completely. But at the end, I mean, it was expected. Rocks Horizon, very good setup, very good start. The Gridlock going from below, just kind of taking in those late game verticals. Absolutely fantastic. Managed to get some nice picks off of that, although the flank did come in from the Legion. But in the end, that's also what separated the Legion from side completely. So it all worked out in a very nice alignment for Rocks Horizon, and they managed to get themselves the 4th round. But they still need 2 more. They still do need 2 more, and you know, while this one went extremely well, who's to say it doesn't go as well 1 round? And out of these 2, I mean, if one of these is lost, I'm just saying, Lumina, they're back at it. It's going to be a 1-to-1 match score, and we're going to be going on to the deciding one.
Basement, 4 a man in front of the basement. Breach is down, and we've got Coded with the glass going for the entry to C4, and there is the first one out, trying to get him up again. He tried to get him, and there is he. That's the first kill of mission. Confirms Coded is out. The man who took 6 out of his 13 kills in the last 2 rounds, but BMS is turning completely turning the wheel completely around again. Nixon with a really important kill again. 3v3 situation, yes, but what a start of a round.
Wow. You know, I hope Rocks Horizon did realize the part where I said if they lose 1 round, you know, they're gonna be going on to the decider. And I guess they are gamblers. They are completely fully addicted gamblers. They said, high risk, high reward, that's the way we like it, and that's the way we're gonna do it. They went in, they smoked, they had the glass, but surprisingly, you know, it's surprising how much explosives can do in Siege. You know, 1 little C4 and it all falls apart. A couple of random bullets through that smoke and it just starts falling apart. But thankfully, BMS, the Gridlock yet again of this round, is going to be getting a nice double kill just to even out the score, just to not let everything go to waste. A very nice second headshot that we got a hopeful highlight of. But still, you know, I like high risk, high reward. You know, I like the little copium and everything that was given there, but Jesus, that is too risky for me. Too risky if you ask me. And as we're down to the final minute, this round went extremely quickly by. Thatcher taking some damage, not being able to deliver some of his own. And just as I say that, that's going to be one from Fire. Angle manages to get a double kill, just trading out not only Fire, but also Venoms. BMS getting himself the triple, and will he be able to do the quad? It's all up to him. No more smoke canisters in the department. And with that, I mean, Gridlock going for a fake plant, and oh, an SMG-11 shot coming in, and that's going to be the first round, or the first match. Going over to the side of Lumina, and they sure took that match point. They got that match point very nicely when it was 3-6. They lost one round, but they're not going to be letting it continue on any longer, and a very nice one. Although Gridlock, props. I mean, BMS right now was just absolutely dominating. 1, 2, 3, almost got the quad, but with that, it was very close, and Smoke managed to push it up just very nicely, nicely enough to get themselves around the map, and overall, Night Haven. So, Gary, any opinions you want to share?
Yeah, I would say 4-7, not as close as it was. I would say from the score perspective at the end. But we saw it in the last round again, a close one. We saw the 1v1s, we saw the refrags, a good a good retake like from Pango from above, taking out the Gridlock. I mean, I think was the first one, getting the intel on the breach. Okay, catching some shots from the breach as well after this one, but really strong one on this side. Okay, you could argument where was the drone, where was the intel for the flank, but overall, I would say from both teams, again, a really strong matchup. Lumina, I would say it was their map pick, and it was their map from the first beginning. They started really well on their attacking side, so a really good one to come back into this match with 7-4. This is an argument for them for taking the win after map 3, but this we will see after a short break, so stay tuned.
Who would have thought it that two teams that are always so close every time they play together would be taking us all the way to map 3? It's really what we deserve here. And if you maybe noticed, my little tag down there changed. Now it says caster rather than host because yes, I'll be taking over for Rob's duties for this last game. And honestly, I couldn't be more excited to cast this final map of the day right here with Pevkari. What are your expectations for this one, as we'll be going to Clubhouse to close things off today?
Yeah, we saw earlier two strong maps, Oregon on Nighthaven Labs and Rocks Horizon. Yeah, scrambled, moved, crawled their way over the defense on Oregon, I would say, to the finish line. Lumina tried the same thing on the defense, but in overtime they didn't start on the defense, so that was the point, I would say. On the other side, we saw a really strong Nighthaven Labs from Lumina Gaming, a really strong start. 4 out of 6 attacking rounds, and Rocks Horizon needed a bit of time, maybe a bit too long, to come back into the game, so it ended in a 4-7. So now we are moving to map number 3. We are moving to Clubhouse. We are moving to a map which I would say both teams should know what they have to play on this map. So let's have a look on the bands. Let's have a look on the operators, which we won't see, and maybe I know which operator on the attacking side Rocks Horizon will ban now. But first, Capitao out. Interesting one. Okay, strong weapon, strong gadget utility, strong secondary gadget with a potential hard reach gadget or the Claymore. But not the first pick, I would say, for this map.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a super obvious one, but hey, if they have their reasons, and especially for post-plant situations and for plants in general, Capital can be so annoying. So can Monty. So they decided together, nope, we're just not dealing with that today. Again, this is by far the most important ban phase of the day. Each choice has to have utmost strategy to it, and hence why we're seeing Tebera as well being brought up as the very first band defender. And finally, as a last one, wow, it'll probably be yet another of the very meta defenders right now in the game. And lo and behold, even after the nerfs, it's Fenrir who gets the final ban.
Yeah, Monty on Clubhouse, totally agree with it. Wobei, genau. Yes, I will fall back on German. So, I would say, I would say Rocks Horizon should have maybe banned the Doka AB on this point, because for the aggressive playstyle of Lumina, Doka AB is very, very important. So maybe they thought, yeah, okay, taking out the Monty is more important. It's a very strong operator, especially for, I would say, for every side you could play him very well. So take him out is okay. The Tubarao, I would say, is the same thing as we saw earlier. Lumina Gaming used him very, very good, and tried to not deny, but try to delay the breaches or the opening of the hatches very, very good. So a good ban, I would say, for this one. And Fenrir for the last, I would totally agree with this. So let's have a look to round number 1. In the basement, we see Kate. Okay, and Virtual, a big roam also as well. So totally the complete map played from the defensive side. What do you think would bring a Rocks Horizon? What they will bring to the table? Aggressive push through the side, or maybe just a slow approach?
Well, we've seen so far how much YouTube and how much manpower Lumina are using, even on its top floor. So the main thing Rocks Horizon need to do is make sure that it's all clear before they go in. That means that they need to use the drones very carefully to clear out those roamers, and they're going to have to do quite a bit of work beforehand before they even attempt to go downstairs. Obviously, you just don't want to be flanked when you're going for that plant, especially on a solid basement where there's so many ways they can get flanked. All those entryways we think about that attackers can use can be used against their attackers once they have sight. All the hatches, all those staircases, you can all fight them in the behind. As you can see already, JJF5 trying to go for the very first engagement on a repelled attacker. However, nothing comes of it just yet. He is pulling out at C4, waiting for maybe the opportunity to strike, but so far he's showing restraint, but who knows when that restraint will be lifted. How much more does that one upside down player from Rox Horizon need to hang there before he finally lets that C4 rip? Instead, it's going to be Pango as the very first one to fall. However, very quickly, a mission brings it back to a 4v4, and just like that, half the round is gone already.
Yeah, first opening again from Rox Horizon, but Lumina is on point and is getting out BMS, a very strong operator or very strong player from Rox Horizon. So we go like in the same direction as we saw it on Oregon earlier that day today. So maybe this could be also a way which this map could go, opening frags from side of Rox Horizon, but can't finish it up in the end. So again is the point, the transition, going for the final execution, going for the preparation for the final execution. This would be the interesting part now.
Yep, with just 40 seconds left to go and 8 players left standing. 8 players standing in total. We are seeing Rox Horizon making their way in. They have struggled quite a bit on attack, but the mission will get a second already. However, the attack is still very much happening. Smoke's being deployed to cut off that entire part of the map, and just like that, Fire gets 2, Choco gets 1, bringing the total number of Lumina members down to just 1, and then just to none, as Fire closes out that round for his team. Honestly, it was difficult to predict where it's going to go to the very end. However, Rox Horizon managed to stay cool enough during that final push in his last few seconds to get it across the finish line.
And a really strong execution here. 4K from Fire at the end. This was the play they needed. Again, the entry was there. Okay.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
Lumina get the first frag on their side as well. So for 4v4 through the final execution, they managed to go for a good preparation for the execution, I would say, and this went very well. And then they went for a good flanking style. 2 across the base, not the basement, the 2 across the main stairs. One main stairs, one motor hatch, 2 into the oil port, the blue side, and then that's the problem, a really big one, because you're standing in a crossfire on the defensive side, so you can't handle it everywhere. Only you can flick like 360 at the whole time, so no chance for Lumina gaming here on this side. And a good execution from Rox Horizon, and with this kind of execution, they could play, I would say, really, really good, and they could work really good. So a good start, a good entrance here. Again, a really fast approach, I would say they would try here as well for going through a soft breach, going through the pressure at CCTV, at cash, and you need it if you want to bring the pressure through the master bomb site.
BMS will be the very first one to pick up a kill this round, as against JJF5, who so far hasn't done much and got no kills yet. However, the game is still, well, at least this map is still only getting started. We're seeing what kind of impact a player has, though, in previous games I've seen of Lumina or whatever code Order 66 before. You know, that's the kind of player you expect to get kills from the very first round, and him seeing him get picked off so early on definitely is kind of concerning. And Nixon will be next on to fall. Rixes joins him, Amishin is next, and Pango finishes off that stack one after another. It was a complete wipe of Lumina, and just like that, Rox get another round in this first half on Clubhouse.
A flawless round on this side, perfect execution, perfect entry, and what do you want more on your attack when you can play it like this. So strong one, 2-0, and a really good start in the first 2 rounds in this decider match, this deciding map here
Defenders,
for
protect your
the
bombs
third
from being
place.
seized
And
by
yeah,
attackers.
the teams could win a bit of a prize pool, 250 euros for the winning team, and I would say 6,000 credits, like 1,000 a player. Wasn't it like this?
Yeah, something like that, something like that. So the stakes are definitely high. If you want that kind of prize mode, what would you do with it? Well, we kind of wait for teams to finish setting up here.
Yeah, it's a problem.
located by
I would probably
10 seconds to go.
make. I will give it to
5 seconds
one of
remaining.
our fans outside there, because yeah, skins is not so important for me. So I don't know what I have done, or what I should I do. The battle pass. Yeah. I could. I've got enough credits at the moment for the battle pass, so this is all for me. So I would make a gift, or I would make a present for one of our beautiful viewers out there, and yeah, maybe I could bring some joy to one of you out there.
I ain't that generous. I'd probably just spend mine on more Black Eye skins. But anyway, one thing we need to point out is the strat from JJF5 placing the mirror window on the bridge wall upstairs and then popping it instantly just to get an angle so they can keep that balcony, you know, under their control. However, it doesn't matter as all the action is going downstairs anyway. And the first 2 operators to go are Legion and Nazami. You know, the guys that kind of really do their best when they're kept alive, seeing how the gadgets regen over time. You don't get just handed all of them at the start of a round. So if any of those 5 players has to go first, those are probably the worst ones to go. Okay, Smoke is kind of up there as well, but still, as such, they're already at a pretty big disadvantage going into this 3rd round, and seeing how they haven't won a single round so far, that's not a great thing. Nixon managed to get 1, but Fire gets JJ5 anyway next, and again, I'm struggling to see exactly why JJ5 is struggling so much, given the kind of impact he has had in pretty much all the games for his team this season. This leaves just Nixon and Pango in a position to do anything.
What?
B7 left that whole angle completely unguarded and paid the price as he was hanging upstairs. Nixon just had to sneak through that bugged floor. I have no idea what he expected to happen, and Fire will be the one to finish off this round yet again by finally taking on Pango and bringing it to 3-0 for Rox Horizon.
And again, a really strong attack. No chance for Lumina in this round. They're getting shot together. They had no ground where they could stay. We saw it with Nixon. He tried it. He tried it really good. Got 2 picks. And yeah, not even him, or not even he, could handle the pressure which he has to deal with it. So 3-0, a very strong attack again from Rox Horizon. Okay, at the moment I thought maybe they could throw it with the pick of the Maverick outside there. Maybe this was a bit too easy, but hey, Rox Horizon with a really good attack again, and now we see something unreal, maybe the bar and stage spot from Lumina Gaming. Is this the last card they could play, or what do you think? Why do they play or want to play this site?
It's always an exciting round when Bar gets played, and always so many questions get asked about what could be the reasoning, you know, kind of behind it. And I think when things aren't going well, going for that kind of wild pick is usually a great way to try and spice things up and confuse the enemy that may have gotten a bit too confident. So hopefully we see this pay off. Naturally, it's a site that doesn't get played a lot, and thus attackers don't know how to handle it as well. Though, of course, it is still Clubhouse. It's still a map that's been with us for so long. It's still a map where pretty much every nook and cranny has been explored to its fullest. Hopefully, however, that will be enough to give Lumina that just advantage they need to get at least one round on the board. We do already see some pretty tight angles deployed all over the map to try and get an opening pick, and guess what? That is exactly what just happened as a mission gets coded straight away, making a 5 versus 4 as the very first minute of round number 4 comes to a close.
A really important pick for them here. Lumina needed this one. They needed the entrance. They needed the first one. But here is Venom and is taking out Reaxis. No chance for him. Here, the M4, a really strong weapon on this distance. Probably the attacker has the better point on his side, so a good one as well here. Falling for situation, and we see, I would say, Rocks Horizon in the better position again. Lumina has a really big problems here to go for the next execution, but JTF5 is on point, taking out Choco Zama and taking the lead on operators.
Yep, and with Buck and Ash gone, that's a lot of the destruction that Rocks Horizon brought just off the table. Now granted, while we've seen them manage to get a bit of work done, is it going to be enough? V7 does have to do the work, once again evening out a man count to a nice and balanced 3 versus 3. The BMS quickly distorts the balance by killing JJF5. Now, with it being a 3v2 with 50 seconds left, Rocks Horizon should have enough of the map control and have eliminated enough of the players to at least attempt something. However, keep in mind that the 2 remaining defenders are probably the last people you want when you want to try and plant. Those being Solace and those being Echo.
Correct.
That is going to make this plant living hell. However, it doesn't matter because Nixon just tried to go for a counter anyway, tried to reclaim site and it didn't work out. Or he could have probably just sat down and relaxed with his drone somewhere. Instead, he tried to get a bit active and pay the price. Now it's all down to a mission on the Solace to try and prevent the plant. Again, fantastic defender choice when it comes to doing so, unless they're just not able to spot a diffuser going down. Oh, they get a beautiful shot there on a V7. But unfortunately, the box is down. And now it's up to a mission to clutch this against 2 players who are pretty much on max health. Now granted, with a full 110 HP as well on the Solace. HP is definitely not an issue there as well, but also they have no idea where the 2 remaining attackers are. One very scrappy engagement against BMS later, and BMS goes down, and all of a sudden it's still very, very possible for Lumina to finally get the very first round here. So the time is running very low, and there's still no intel about where Fire is. The plant must go. Now it must be defused, and Fire is just able to sneak up and get a mission as they get yet another round for Rocks Horizon.
And again, a good choice here. Okay, a really good try from Emission. We have to point this out. A really, really good try. He took 3 kills. He took 3 kills in this round, but can handle it all because of Venom as well. That free piece on his side. So a really strong take on this side from a Rocks Horizon, taking the diffuser across this whole spot, knowing there is a Solace on the board, knowing where they could plant, and knowing where they could plant safely and don't get shot. Okay, Venom was the first one who got knocked out on side, but no problem. They deal with the plant. They got the after plant situation, and that's the point. And yeah, it's the 4th point of them, and that's I would say, yeah, Rocks Horizon. It's the best thing they could do. Not the best second map, but the very, very good start on map number 3, 4-0. And I would say, yeah, the only thing Lumina Gaming could do at the moment is this what they have done, taking a timeout. And so, what's the point? What should Lumina Gaming do now? What is their chance? I mean, they are on defense, and Clubhouse is normally a bit more defensive favored. So what should they do now?
It's difficult to tell, especially analyzing the last round. We can definitely pinpoint a few things that went wrong. First off, when you have the last 2 defenders as Echo and Solace, there is no way you can let the diffuser go down. How you let that happen when those two are left on the board is just beyond me. As we saw the Echo try to get a bit more active, try to take back the site instead of working with the Solace
10
using
seconds left.
the intel, the thing they're so good at, to try and prevent the plant. Nope,
10
instead,
seconds left.
it really came back to bite them. And while a mission got very close at the end to clutching it, it just wasn't enough, and it can't really allow themselves to be left in this kind of clutch situations. And even if Rocks Horizon struggled before to get those early map picks, now they're just running away with it. I mean, Pango falling so quickly, Nixon as well. We are 20 seconds into the game, and this round may have already just been decided. But not if Rix has anything to say about that, as Choco is the first one to fall on the side of Rocks Horizon. We do see a push from that side of Tunnel, and those Goo Mines are going to make the journey a bit more difficult for the Blitz, who has already been pricked a couple of times, bringing his HP to just a mere 25. Especially with Legion on the board, that HP could disappear very quickly. Now, Emission manages to get a kill even while it's blinded. However, Fire gets a very quick refrag, and just like that, win a 3v2 situation. A lot's been happening so far in this very first minute of the game, and we still have 2 minutes left of this kind of chaos to go.
Yeah, that's a point. 2 minutes to survive for the defense here, and we see Rexus with the Legion, only 30 HP, also only one bullet in his small
Attackers
toe,
located a bomb.
and he will fall on the ground. So. Not the best position again for Lumina, but hey, we see at the moment Rocks Rising could do what they want, and they're doing what they want, taking 2 openings again. Okay, getting shot a bit down, refrag, instant on point, and that's the point. Even if they get denied, like in this situation with the Blitz, like the push was denied, even then they could react on it. Even then they could manage to bring the refrag on the board, and that's the point. So now, taking the transition, I would say they have enough time, coded with JJ5 with the next one out. They have enough time to go through this round again. 5-0. Yeah, totally destruction at the moment.
Yep, and unless Lumina get at least one round here before we swap sides, I think it is going to be maybe not impossible for them to fight back and to claw their way into overtime. However, it is going to be that much harder, so they better bring something special for this very last round. The ideas are decent, however, the execution about how they want to protect the site, how they want to scatter around the map to somehow try and prevent this just flood that just completely destroys everything in their way. I mean, that's the thing. Rocks Horizon have their goals, and they just execute them flawlessly every single round. They just really don't miss when it comes to anything they attempt so far this game, which is just insane. Again, it's something we probably expected on a map like Clubhouse, given exactly how long it's been in game, how ingrained into everyone's mind it is. I mean, even like someone like me who
10
isn't a
seconds left
pro by
before
any
insertion.
means will be able to just like play this map in my sleep. It's just
5
hard
seconds
coded
to go.
into every single Siege player. And to see the defenders who should have the advantage
Attackers
here
are moving
struggling
out to
so
locate a
much
bomb and defuse
against these very basic pushes from Rocks Horizon in the grand scheme of things is just very, very confusing. But anyway, once again, we do see the likes of the Solace brought out. We once again see the likes of the Mirror. We see operators that we saw Lumina bring time and time again. We don't see, however, the likes of a Blitz, who, well, I always liked the initiative of bringing a Blitz, seeing how quickly he was dealt with by the Vigil last round. Oh, I guess it's also fine to, you know, switch things up as well.
Yeah, I would say they don't need him. They don't need the Blitz to go for the execution or the same execution style that the rounds before, like these aggressive plays, like being very fast, taking the refrags. You don't need the Blitz for this. You just need the intel, and this is also possible with a drone. This is also possible with your utility you got, and you could bring on the border, like here, Brava, 2 extra drones, and that's the point in BMS again. JJF5 out in this round, and yeah, it's moving again like the rounds before, and that's the problem for Lumina Gaming. They're trying, but yeah, it's not possible at the moment for them to gaining anything out of these rounds.
1 minute 30 remaining, and not much has happened ever since JJ5 has been killed. I was going to say maybe, just maybe, we'll finally get someone on board, and while they do with Nixon, not before Hango falls as well. Once again, the man advantage on the side of Rox Horizon, and it goes even bigger as Coded and Choco both get 1 apiece, and all of a sudden it's just down to Nixon. All of the work they put towards making sure that that construction, that kind of like cache side of the map is kept under control, all completely wasted as Rox Horizon is rushing and once again do whatever they want
No chance.
with Lumina. And V7 finally puts the defenders out of their misery as we switch sides. What on earth is going on here?
A whitewash, I would say. And the really strong one. Rox Horizon, yeah, it's like they're sitting in a Lamborghini and Lumina just didn't even open the car at the moment. So, yeah, you can't win a race like this. You just have to stop your opponent. Pulling a truck on the streets, closing the road on the racetrack or something like that. I don't know.
Attackers
At the
need to
moment,
locate
Rox
and defuse
Horizon,
bombs.
they can do what they want. And yeah, I would say Lumina, maybe they are speechless as me at the moment. So the problem is if you haven't a chance at
Attackers
the
have discovered the
or
location
if you
of a
can't
bomb.
come into a gunfight, if you can't deal with your opponent, because sometimes you're in a bad timing, sometimes it's just a bad luck. And yeah, if I look on the opening frags, like again 5 opening frags from Rox Horizon, they're bringing
10 seconds left
their
before
aggressive
insertion.
playstyle on the board, and Lumina can't handle it at the moment. And I would say
5 seconds to
like
go.
the bar spot showed it really well.
Attackers
They
objective
didn't
is
know
to
what to
defuse the
do,
bomb.
and they didn't know what to bring against these aggressive plays. And that's sometimes it is like it is how it is. Sometimes you can't deal with your opponent because sometimes you can't bring your A game on the point. And yeah, okay, this was maybe a bit greedy. Nixon opening uncoded and trying to be aggressive as well on their side.
Yeah, a bit overconfident, but you can't blame him after going 6-0 so far. We also don't see those flashbangs going in and flashing one of their own on the side of the attack. Not a great start for them, but hey, they have the man advantage, so I guess it doesn't matter. And are they about to get an even larger man advantage? Nope. Aspire just manages to escape out of that situation in blue. JJ5, however, finally gets Choco, and what is that? Is that a 3 versus 5? With Lumina in advantage? No way. I don't think we've seen that kind of situation at all this entire map. So that's a new one. Anyway, I also love that we do see the likes of Striker, that one of the new recruits brought so much here, and once again we do see a mission play him. I just love seeing Sentry and Striker being brought out in this game. Anyway, 1 minute 40 remaining. Things have kind of calmed down after those 2 initial kills for Lumina, taking out Choco and Coded, making the situation a lot more difficult. With Faragon as well, the top fragger on the side of Rox now is going to be extremely difficult. And Mission gets BMS as well, but not before being finally shot down by V7, and it's just down to V7 to take out all of the remaining defenders, which unfortunately, well, maybe in his fantasies, but here in the real world, he got shut down pretty quickly.
Yeah, maybe too overconfident from Rox Horizon. Maybe they tried to bring the White Watch here to the table and tried to make it too quick, maybe. Lumina said, okay, we got the opening, let's try to deal with it. Let's bring the pressure to the defense. They got a close one, or maybe a bit of a lucky shot on the Valkyrie on the main stairs, so
Protect your
2-man
bombs from being
advantage.
defused by attackers.
And I would say, yeah, then they got confident enough to go for the execution. Yeah, you said it with Striker, the new attacker here, with the M4, a really strong weapon, and then with the possible utility, like everything bringing here through the map, like the combination, like the hard breach combination with the EMPs on the hard breach gadget, or flashbangs and smokes, or flashbangs and frag nades. So that's the point.
10
He's
seconds left
very
before
versatile and could bring so much
5
through
seconds left.
through the attacker lineup. So yeah, why don't bring him if you could
Attackers
use
are
him? So
moving
that's the
out to
point.
locate
And
bombs.
here again, I would say strong weapon, and with this weapon you can deal so much damage. So take him and use him. And yeah, Coded. Oh, good night, I would say. Reaxus out. A bit of a luck shot on the second one again. Reaxus and Pengo out. Denied or outcoded from Coded. So he is on point. And maybe this is the first start for the defense they needed to close this game. Here totally.
Yeah, what those 2 kills, skill, what a luck, what a good mixture of both. Whatever they were, they may have just secured this whole series for Rocks Horizon, as now Lumina are forced to attack with 2 minutes left with just 3 players. Now again, 2 minutes, plenty of time in siege time. There's still plenty they can do with the attackers that they have left. And they do still have all the key elements, right? They have soft breach, they have hard breach, they have frags. They have what it takes to make this happen. But with 2 guns less, it is going to be quite a painful task. So that's why thankfully they have so much time to work with to at least try and make something of this. B7 preps a C4 as they expect someone to make their way down a main staircase. And we do see that mirror being destroyed as well, as blue is going to be the next point of interest for Lumina, trying to clear out Fire and BMS, who are playing into that position. 1 minute, 15 left, and they still haven't made their way down, as they're just slowly destroying all the U2 they have left. But what's this? Does no one know? Nixon is just down there. He managed to get 1, but he gets spotted out and taken out by Choco. Very, very valiant effort there. I have no idea how no one spotted Nixon just sneaking in like a ninja right there. And just like that, it is a 4v2 as we enter the final minute of their game. The blow torture is being deployed to give them a few more angles to work with, but it doesn't matter if we just... The defenders aren't just giving them anything here to work with. Oh, look at that shot through the bar onto B7 as JJ5 gets another kill. A mission gets another one, and all of a sudden they balance it out somehow. Are they about to get another one onto Choco? Yes, they are, as the mission gets that one. What is going on here? How did Lumina bring this back with JJ5 securing the final kill, making Lumina still in this? They avoided disaster in such a beautiful, especially given that they were down 2 players for since pretty much the entire start, thanks to some very nasty shots from Coded. That is nothing short of a miracle, and I'm all here for it.
Yeah, really a miracle. I wrote like 7-1 on my sheet here in front of me, and now I have to correct it to 6-2, and I can't believe it. And for a description for a round, I only wrote how, because I don't know. Okay, the Ash moved in sneaked in like the hallway or across the hallway. You said it earlier. Yeah, these are the types of plays how you could make a change, or how you can surprise your opponent. They surprise him. You get 1 pick here, but the reflect was there instantly, and so they got the 3v2 advantage. They got the man advantage, but they can't, or they didn't handle it. And I don't know how, because normally you should close this round up. You've got the better positioning. You've got the time on your side, and they didn't handle it. And maybe it's the same as on map number 1, but on another way. No one can play defenses here anymore. Maybe they lost the option to play a defense on Nighthaven Labs.
Now, Lumina, even after that impressive round, still have so much work to do if they want to bring this into overtime. They need to win 4 in a row. And given the performance so far, it's possible, but definitely not an easy thing to do. Fire managed to get a mission with a clean headshot as the very first kill of round number 9, and that is Finker gone, so no more boosts for anyone on the side of the attack. Anyway, things are kind of slowed down, and never mind as Nixon gets Choco, but instantly gets traded out by Coded, and it's a 4v3 as we enter the second minute of this round.
And a really important one again here for the defense. Yeah, Nixon, a player who showed in the last round, on the last matches, how to play the game and how to play these rounds. And BMS again here on the table. 8th kill of the match, of this map here. Really strong one again. And so they have to deal with it. They've got only 2 operators left. They got the sense. They've got the utility to try to deal with the to try to deal with it, but not anymore. Both nades out. So now we are going through the bottlenecks, maybe through the main breach, but no, the main breach as well didn't go through. So only the bottlenecks, and that could be a very interesting part now. BMS with the next one. Only JGF5 left. Maybe this was the game. The first one is out.
I can't even imagine what's going through his head right now. He is the last chance Lumina have for taking 3rd place here. It's all on his shoulders as he has to take out 3 remaining defenders in 30 seconds. Seemingly impossible, but again, after what I've seen from him in previous games, if there's anyone that can do it, it's probably on the side of Lumina, either Ammunition or JJ5, and now it's all to the latter to try and do it with just 15 seconds left and still none of the 3 targets hit. He is just playing, you know, whack-a-mole with defenders who just didn't want to give him anything, but eventually it's V7 who finally puts JJ5 out of his misery, and just like that, we are crowning Rox Horizon as the 3rd place winners of Voltage League this season. They take home the bronze, they take home the prize, and man, is it a very, very deserved bronze.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. Congratulations for Rox Horizon with a really, really strong 3rd map this evening, and I would say with this performance, they really made the point why they could gain or could win, or why they should have won this the 3rd place on their side. So a really strong performance, especially here in Oregon. 6-0 out of their own attack. So not the defensive side, not the strong side on the map. No, the defense had no chance against them here. So that's the point. Really strong performance here on 2 of the 3 maps, and this is in the best of 3. It's enough. Just play or just win 2 maps, and that's the point. And I would say congratulations again. This was a really, really good matchup here. From both teams. Lumina Gaming, yeah, maybe it was the point on map number 1, Oregon. The 8-7, which could have felt in both ways, and now we could go back to the place. I would say maybe it was round number 9 on Oregon with the first meeting attack, which they throw away. Okay, maybe it's a bit too hard for the long run, but you could break it on this side because it was a really close matchup.
Yeah.
Both teams had really strong performances on their maps, or like on a Clubhouse as well as on Night Haven Labs. So I would say both teams should have won this, but we could only have one winner, and yeah, this time it was Rocks Horizon. So congratulations, the third last time from today from me.
Yep, congrats to them. But now I'm very interested in hearing exactly how they managed to get to where they have and how they managed to win this out. So we'll be back after a short break with an interview with one of the lads from Rocks Horizon telling us all the behind the scenes about what just went down. So don't go anywhere.
Before you found me, I was floating among the stars. No direction till I landed in your arms. Destiny makes sense when I look in your eyes. A new force of nature that brings me to life. Baby, I can't help it. I never felt like this. Only you can do what you do. Only you give me that deja vu. Only you.
And just like that, we are back with Fire from Rox Horizon, guys. Congrats on the win. Very well deserved. You fought to the very end. Overall, I mean, it was the battle for third place. You know, it's between some of the top teams in the league. So was it about as difficult as you imagined, or was it a lot harder than you and your team thought going in?
No. Thanks for the welcome. It was as hard as we expected. Lumina is a good team, and we are playing as a mix. Some player left the team, so we are playing kind of a mixed play style. So no, it was as hard as we expected, but we came on top. Yeah.
And you know, going from being very, very dominant in the very first map, then going to just not really arriving to Night Heaven Labs to just completely steamrolling through that final map in Clubhouse. You know, I want a breakdown of what exactly happened with Night Haven and why they ended up going to Lumina, but then also how come it was so incredibly easy to then beat them on Clubhouse after the performance they showed in the previous two maps.
We didn't knew that apparently Night Heaven is a good map for Luna. We didn't knew about it, so we let it open. And some of our players didn't play the map for like they played like 2 or 3 times since the map is out. So it was a bit of a hard time for them
Yeah.
to understand the map and understand the short call. But on the club, it was smooth. The lead was good. The shot call were good. The team fight were good. So it was just a walk in the park.
And with you coming, third now in Voltage League, what's next for your team? Because you guys really show great potential. You guys have been doing amazing here and also. So what's next for Rux Horizon?
That's a good question. I don't even know, to be honest. It will depend on if we continue as this mix, if we trial on other team, but time will tell. I really don't know. So, but I'm excited to know and to see what the future has for us. But as a team, we don't know what's next.
Well, hopefully it's just going to be all the best because you guys definitely deserve it after this performance. Before we close things out, is there anything you want to say to end this season of Voltage League for you guys, to all the fans watching at home?
Thanks to Venom's Choco and Colette for being there, for stepping in at the last time, and thanks for everyone watching us. Nothing more to say.
Okay, well, thank you so much for doing this interview. Thanks for all the behind the scenes on what's been going on at Rux Horizon. Again, congrats and best of luck to whatever the future holds for your team. I'm going to let you join with them now so you can celebrate and talk about how you're going to use all those winnings from the Voltage League. So thanks again so much. And just like that, there's only one stop left on our tour, and that is nothing else but the grand final happening this Saturday. It's going to be Team 86 versus ITVA, and man, it's going to be exciting. But today was just such a great way to settle the third place debate, going all the way to the final map. Tons of excitement and just perfect. The script writers outdone themselves, I'll say.
Yeah, totally agree. I think very strong performances of both teams. We heard it in the interview. Maybe a bit of a mistake for going to Night Heaven Labs. Yeah, okay. This could happen sometimes. So in the end, they won it. So no one cares about how and how the matches went. So yeah, they won. Congratulations! And sadly for Lumina Gaming, they tried their very best and they had really strong performances on Night Haven as well as on Oregon. So the next time, I think it would be better. And so the next time we will see, hopefully again, a really good matches on Saturday. You said it. So tune in and yeah, hopefully we will see you here on Voltage League on Saturday.
Yep, and I just like to thank every one of you for watching today. I'd like to thank the production team who have been doing a great job. I'd like to thank all the sponsors who make Voltage League possible. And hey, you remember that giveaway? The one we keep on talking about? It's still happening. You can still take part, and you better do it. But I think that is everything for the show tonight. Again, see you guys when we wrap things up on Saturday. I've been your host and caster kind of as well, Avrana, and then I have Pevkari with me as well. Thanks so much for doing this third place best of 3 with me. And we also have to thank Buffer Bob, who had to go a bit early, but he also did, of course, those 2 matches earlier. But for me, that's everything, so see you guys on Saturday.
Good night.
Weightlessness of